Oh, it's us.
Us. Two of us.
There's two of us, just two this week.
Just the two of us.
I am E, the goat, and under me is Jeriah.
Hi, I sneezed and my nose is runny, and I was like, "Let's go live," and then I realized my nose was runny. So
That's the gimmick of this stream. Is Jeriah's nose is like a fountain, but it's randomized when it will go.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
I know I set the timer, so I know when it's gonna go off. But viewers at home don't.
Yeah, it's like gonna be like, you ever watch Double Dare and how they have to like go into the snot and like grab the flag? It's gonna be that every.
I don't think I've actually watched Double Dare. I think I've only watched the other ones.
Really?
Yeah, I think I've only watched that Legends of the Hidden Temple.
That one's good.
What was there was three. What's the like sports one? Is that Double Dare?
Double Dare is kind of sportsy. There was Double Dare, Legends of the Hidden Temple. There was like a hide and seek one where they just had to like go through a house and tear it the fuck apart.
I like to imagine it was a real person's house. It's like,
great.
Hey, $50. Let us use your house for the week. And that was in '90s money, so that's like $100. They don't clean it though. Whatever the kids do stays.
No, like, it was such a weird thing, because, like, it was like you had to find the flag in the air. I think it was, like, hide and seek or something like that. I forget. But, like, they just had to find one flag in this giant room, and they had, like, a minute and a half to just wreck the room and find this flag. And there was just garbage everywhere all the time.
Interesting.
I forget what the name of that show was, though. I'm going to have to look that up.
Huh. Reminds me of a similar premise from a Japanese game show where one of the objects in the room is made of chocolate. And you have to figure out which one's chocolate.
Is that the one where, like, you get the people biting shoes? They're like, is this chocolate? Yeah, okay.
My favorite is one time it was a door handle. So, like, you just... Oh. And, like, just people biting literally everything in a room, so... They're always, like, really surprised when it's actually the chocolate. You can see it in their face. They're like, ah! Oh!
So, like... Are they just, like, partnered with, like, a dental school, or...?
Yeah. After every show, there's just chips in everyone's teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyways, today's game is RITE. Yes. We haven't said that yet. It's on the screen.
RITE.
RITE. As like last week, I didn't really vet this much. I'm aware that this is a platformer. I hope. It'd be funny.
Well, we also thought last week was going to be like super fast game. I thought so.
It was.
I mean, like, 2 hours is pretty fast.
Well, it was like an hour and a half, and then some time spent looking up the ending that we missed.
That's true, actually. Yeah, you're right.
This one I think's 2 streams, at least.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, unless I'm really good.
Ooh, is this a puzzle? This still looks like a puzzle.
I don't think.
Oh my god.
No, this is a platformer. Precision platformer in specific, I think. Also, apparently I'm supposed to be playing with the Super Nintendo controller with a bunch of joysticks. So.
Okay.
Alright, fairly simple so far.
I think the audio's balanced. Oh no. Oh, okay. I'll take you. I think the audio's balanced pretty well.
Alright.
Maybe it's a little loud in the sound effects.
The phone says left. I don't know if I'm supposed to collect every coin, but I sure am.
Why would they put them there if you're not supposed to?
I mean, like, to finish everything. Like, I feel like it might just be like, just get them.
I feel like it would leave you empty if you didn't collect them.
No, yeah, well, yeah, like, morally, I have to.
Yeah.
But, like, it seems to be the coin that has torches around it.
Oh.
This feels really good so far, I'm gonna say.
That's good. So far, the levels are very quick.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I was like, how am I gonna get back? Oh, yeah. If there's a time limit thing, I'm definitely not getting it. But I sure am getting the coins, you know? There is a time limit thing, I'm not going for those.
You have best runs and stuff.
I will say I never care for time limits in games. It's just not how I play.
I don't like when games are like, you gotta beat the level in like 30 seconds or else you don't get this trophy.
I am fine if it's just for an achievement, because, you know, like, people are gonna be doing that anyways, might as well reward them.
Sure.
I think the worst one I ever played is there was a puzzle game with a time limit on it. And I feel like that just means, okay, you know the answer, just do it immediately. Yeah. Like, I didn't like it much in that.
Not a fan of that.
In fact, I didn't even bother with any of it in that one.
Yeah. I think that's the correct call.
That's my game dev hot tip. I don't think time limits, or not time limits, but speed times deserve to be in puzzle games. I just feel like it's kind of a clash.
Yeah.
Zafoon says time puzzles suck. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even like, oh, you only have this much time. It was, oh, you get like a ladybug if you do it in this time. And, you know, all the ladybugs, it's just like, I don't know, like, what are you rewarding here, ultimately, is the weird question.
Oh, that fucking reminds me.
What up?
PlayStation just did, like, a state of play. Oh, hey, Spikes.
Yeah. Yeah, they announced, like, Tekken 8 and Yakuza 6, right?
No, Yakuza Oni or something like that. It's Yakuza, but what if samurai instead of modern? Which actually looks kind of fucking cool, not gonna lie.
Don't worry, I got this.
Missed the whole line. But they also announced, like, their new rewards program.
Uh-huh.
Which, like, the way that they, like, tried showing it off was like, and you'll earn points to earn digital goods, like 3D models of all of the old things you love. Like, I don't want to earn 3D model. Like, you're selling me NFTs without selling me an NFT.
I was gonna say, yeah, what? You're just trying to sell NFTs for free?
Like, it's fucking weird. I hated it. Their current model is you spend $1, you get a point. After so many points, you get free games. Like,
yeah, that's most consoles kind of model, I would say. Even Switch does that now.
Yeah, and like that's wonderful. It's like, why are you making it this shitty thing that nobody wants? Also, like, everything announced on the State of Play either comes out in like a month or a year and a half.
Yeah. I mean, I know you don't follow the Nintendo one. They did theirs on the same day and announced 5 farming games, all coming out this year.
They also announced what looks like it might be my second least favorite Zelda.
What part did you not like about it?
The part where it's just Skyward Sword.
What if it's Skyward Sword but better?
If it's Skyward Sword but good, that's fucking awesome.
That's what I'm expecting. I mean, it's Skyward Sword with Breath of the Wild controls, which is already a good start. And, you know, Breath of the Wild doesn't, like, focus on story, which is good or bad, depending on the Zelda game, but...
Focuses on story a lot more than others of those.
I don't know.
There's actual cutscenes.
What do you mean? There's... Or what? Wait, I'm confused.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but, like, there's cutscenes in almost all the Zelda games.
Not to that extent. They don't have, like, voiceovers and stuff like that. Like, that's a whole different...
No!
Oh, no! You have to go back.
Yeah. Here, new plan. I start this way.
There you go. There we are.
I mean, yeah, they're voiceover, but, like, I feel like they're essentially the same cutscenes. Just
it's super disjointed.
They didn't put text boxes now. Oh, Sam's in chat. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
They also, I'm gonna say, the Rabbids game looks really good.
I didn't watch any of it because I don't have a Switch. I'm gonna have to get a Switch whenever Pikmin 4.
Yeah, fucking
come out,
they announced Pikmin 4 after 10 years of Pikmin 4 being said to exist.
Yeah.
It was 2014. They said Pikmin 4 is reaching end of development.
Yeah, it's reaching for it. Didn't grab it. Didn't quite get the catch.
My guess is it probably like had a heavy Wii U gimmick.
Yeah.
And they like wanted to figure out a good way, but yeah. I mean, you're allowed to borrow mine. I'm much less judgmental about your selling of it now that I see what games you play more.
Yeah. I'll probably just buy like a cheap one, honestly, and then Liz can have it for like a starting machine afterwards.
I mean, I almost wanted to say light, but I know you don't really like just like sitting on your couch playing a handheld as much.
That's most of how I played Breath of the Wild. I would like turn a show on and then just play Breath of the Wild while a show happened in the background. It was great.
Well, there
it was
you go.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, there you go then.
Yeah.
Other Nintendo stuff, they're remaking the Wii Kirby game, which is probably one of the best Kirby games.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like it's the start of like Kirby being like actually kind of in depth.
Huh.
Because like it leads into like the 3DS games, which those are like phenomenal in my opinion. With Robobot being my favorite Kirby game, period.
Does he like get annihilated at the beginning of that one and then like shoots people's penises off?
Yeah, no.
Awesome.
He does get a mech, so you know, cool. And
I'm down with that.
It's not just like, oh, there's a mech gimmick. It's the mech also can get copy powers. So
awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I think I still have it on 3DS, like as like a physical cartridge. Yeah. My favorite part is people don't like how the new DDD design looks, and I love it. It looks more like an actual penguin.
Wait, what? Okay,
yeah. Yeah, it's called, like, Return to Dreamland Deluxe.
Return to Dreamland Deluxe. I don't know if my YouTube is muted here. Does that come up for you? Is that a thing? Oh,
I don't hear anything.
Let's look at this. Okay, looks like Kirby so far.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear this? Anything?
I still can, don't worry.
Okay.
Oh.
Super cel shady.
Yeah, I think the art style is a lot better in this one than the original.
It looks neat.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get it. It's been 10 years since it came out, so it's like long enough that I don't remember it in depth.
I know that feeling.
Was that The Last of Us for you? Yeah, I was gonna say. It does look like it's more than just, oh, they slapped new textures. Like, I think it looks like a lot better than the original. Plus, it won't have stupid waggle controls. You used to have to use that to like do super moves, and it was
that's everyone's favorite part of the Wii, though. You just shake your arm around for hours.
Like the only I think about playing Galaxy again, but like the thing that makes me not want to play it again is that you have to use the Wiimote.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Zafun saying I missed something, but that the title "Return to Dreamland Deluxe" alone makes me think of 40 Winks for some reason.
40 winks?
I know, like, getting 40 winks means you go to bed.
Why is that? Why is that a thing?
Well, it's scientifically proven if you blink 40 times, you die. So, like, it's like an eternal slumber.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
See, he's too scared to do it, chat.
Let's Google where. I gotta move this mic so I don't look like a very old PS1 game. That's what it says. What it was.
Oh wait, is that the? That's not the one with like the stretchy hand, is it, Zafun?
See, I already have YouTube open. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, might as well.
Weird looking. It's gonna open up this walkthrough with no damage.
Oops. Speaking of no damage, I'm doing really good at some of these levels.
Oh, hey, you're still here.
What? Yeah. Yeah, I haven't moved past level 1, you look. Oh. I don't know if there's, like, bosses or anything in this game. I'm imagining not, because this is pretty precision platform-y.
40 Winks looks like a PS1 game.
Does the character have, like, a hat and, like, a stretchy scarf?
He has like a robe and a candle.
Oh, I don't think it's the one I'm thinking of then.
He almost looks like Rayman if Rayman had a body.
Is that in a good way or a bad way?
I don't know yet.
Is that like a compliment or like derogatory? Looks like Rayman with a body.
I don't know. It seems like that era of video games.
Yeah. That's fair.
I don't know what's happening.
I've just kind of... It's precision platformy kind of levels. Again, like, the controls feel good, which is the most important thing to me. I kind of just thought this would be a fun game to shoot the shit with.
Yeah,
anyway.
Okay, so yeah, so 40 Winks is straight up Rayman.
Neat. Is it though? No, there's also Tonic Trouble, which is also straight up Rayman.
Rayman might have been influential.
Rayman's a pretty good game.
Pretty good game. I loved Rayman 2, and I love Rayman Legends.
I need to fucking play it. I have like that's like my gamer card revoked. I've never played Origins or Legends. But you know, maybe I want my gamer card revoked. Maybe that's a good thing, but
yeah, I don't want to be associated anymore. Yeah, no, those are great. I would say we could play those on stream, but there's a couple levels where we would have to like mute because there's actually licensed music.
Those are actually multiplayer, right? Like we could play together,
they're
right?
4-player.
Yeah, that may be a fun one.
I own both of them.
Neat.
A platformer I've played and you haven't.
I know. I have one on Epic because it was free. I just haven't got around to it. I'm still clearing out this itch bundle. I'm reasonably close, actually.
Really?
I think I only have 20 games left that I was interested in.
No, only.
Well, yeah, like okay, some are like Doggerai, where it took 2 hours to beat.
Right. Okay, so I looked up where the term 40 winks. As a blink lasts for a fraction of a second, 40 winks take a few seconds. Hence the phrase 40 winks has come to mean a few moments of sleep or a very short nap, especially taken during the daytime while not in the sleeping position.
Not in the sleeping position?
I don't know why it's that specific.
Assume sleeping position. Alright. Now I'm trying to think of what else was announced the other day. Other than I joke about there being 5 farming games. I do want 2 of them, no joke. I want Rune Factory and the Harvest Moon remake, or Story of Seasons that it's known now as.
I've heard really good things about Rune Factory.
I'm playing 4 for the 3DS. Fucking fun.
Nice.
I don't know if you'd like it because like it's half RPG but like action RPG.
Probably
but
not.
it's also anime as fuck.
That can go either way. That can be like, yeah, this is super fucking anime and it's hilarious and I love it, or it's like, this is super fucking anime. How do you even deal with this?
Like
it's
to put it, it's like both. I'm gonna say like you like spinning the coin.
Okay.
Like the main plot is like there's like a big old dragon and like you lost your memory after falling out of a giant airship and had to collect a bunch of runes and yada yada, like that fantasy.
Okay.
But also like there's like little cutscenes when characters get introduced, and one was like a girl fell over on the camera and you just got a face full of ass.
Okay, so it's an RPG. It's anime shit.
Like it's half dating, like it's a farming game, so it's like half the who do you wanna fuck, you know? I went with Wolf Guy because he seems neat.
No, well, yeah, he is a wolf, so
yeah. I always go like female in those games, so if I ever want to date the girl, I'm kind of shit out of luck usually. Until now, they're finally adding gay, and like they're finally adding gay. That's the end of it, really.
Coming soon to Harvest Moon, gay.
Literally, yes. Like the remake is like, yeah, you could like have same-sex relationships, and you could be non-binary in this one. Which is cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's neat that there's finally LGBT in video games. Actually, that reminds me, like, just this morning, there's a Guilty Gear, which is, like, the fighting game I played that you didn't like the online like matchmaking.
Yeah.
There's a character in that called Bridget who is a trans girl, but like a bunch of people are arguing like, actually, if you read the Japanese explanation of this and you know that shit that weebs do, the devs came out and were like, no, she's a girl now. Like she identifies as a girl, and like
everyone's still just like,
weebs are losing their shit. Like there was the denial phase where like, that's probably the woke Westerners. I'm curious what the actual and if you read the translation, there's like 70 things that say she, and like Japanese isn't one that uses pronouns a whole lot. So like they went out of the way to be like, this is a girl. Quit arguing about it.
That's great. That's awesome. Actually, that's good.
Also, Sam says Stardew has a gate. Yes, Stardew is one of the first farm games I can think had gay. Honestly, I know. I like. I just like saying has gay. Okay.
Yeah, I know, it's fun. I get it.
But yeah. So Rune Factory. It was a Rune Factory 3 remake since I got on a tangent.
Right.
That one looks good, and the Harvest Moon remake seems pretty good. I can't. There's no way I can handle both because I'll die playing 2 farm games at once.
Yeah, that's just too much. That's overwhelming.
But I'll probably grab one. Oh yeah. We're forgetting the craziest announcement, which was Fist of the North Star boxing exercise game.
What?
Fist of the North Star is a really fucking old anime that's like buff dudes fighting other buff dudes to the max. If you ever seen anything, it has the line like "Omae wa shinderu," which is like you're already dead, and then the other guy explodes. If you ever seen anything referring to it, it's fucking insane.
I'll ask some anime people about it, see what they say.
It's regarded as probably one of the best anime, but with the caveat, it's from the 80s, so like it's an 80s anime as fuck. It's fun. It's not good.
Everybody's favorite anime is from the 80s.
Mine was from 2000 until recently. It's from like 2020.
Oh.
Or I forget when Future Diary was like 07, I think.
Was it?
I think so. It was 11 or 07, like some Evan, I think it was. Feel free to fact check me. I'm you're legally allowed to correct me.
I'm on it.
Oh.
Wow.
What?
October 10th, 2011.
Yep, I knew it was an Evan.
Wow.
So yeah, it was that for a while for me, and then now it's Keep Your Hands Off Isaacin, just because that one's like explains what I love about anime.
Whoa. Pause everything.
Oh, it's paused.
Never mind.
Okay.
Unpause. It's not as big news as I thought. There's a second Japanese thing called Future Diary, but it's the Future Diary.
Yeah, Japan has a lot of like...
that it's like season 2 coming in Netflix mail. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
How would you wait, also there's already 2 seasons technically of that, but like where would you go?
I have no idea. I don't know how you could do more of that show.
I don't think you can. Like, the only other thing is, like, the OVA I showed you, which I don't think that was necessary, but some fans were yada yada. Yeah. Weebs were weebs. I mean,
it was fine. Like, it didn't hurt the show at all. So.
You know what? It has the same effect on me as El Camino did. Where I was like, this is fine, this is fun, but I don't, like, need this.
Oh, did you watch El Camino?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, wow.
It's, like, neat to see what Jesse did, but I was like... I kind of was like, I don't know, I didn't need this. I disagree. I think my original assessment of this is probably really cool for people who, like, follow these characters back when it first aired and got it. Whereas I kind of didn't get the effect because, like, I got a complete story, and then they're like, actually, Jesse moves to Alaska.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, by the way, here's another episode.
Yeah.
It's so so weird. Like, I don't know about El Camino. Like, it is technically well made, and Jesse Pinkman is still like a good character, but like, it's so unnecessary.
I think what really like gives it to me is they had to invent a new character to specifically to like fight Jesse.
Yeah.
Like I think that's why it felt so like it feels like filler. It's like a filler anime episode.
Which is weird for it to be like the one more thing is a filler.
Yeah. But no, it was fine. I can see like if you watched it back then, it would be cool to be like, oh my god, Jesse!
Yeah.
Well, like, I don't know. It was fine.
How long till you sit down and watch some Better Call Saul then, E?
Maybe, well, I'm on my Adventure Time rewatch right now. I'm on season 3 of that out of 10, but also the episodes are 10 minutes long.
Right.
It's really funny, because, like, when you think about a show, you always forget, like, when things actually happen.
Yeah.
I think I told you this off-stream, but, like, it was so weird realizing that one of the, like, most important characters to the story doesn't show up until halfway through the first season.
Yeah, you were telling me that, which I was like, that was very funny.
Yeah.
It just shows, like, how long it took them to, like, really figure out, like, where the show was going.
Yeah. And, like, you could definitely tell this was before they really started thinking about some of the stuff they were going to talk about later, but...
Right.
Like, the seeds have been planted, and, like, I can't wait to get to some episodes. Like, I'm like, oh, I just can't wait to get there. And others like, fuck, I really don't want to rewatch this episode. You know this. I'll skip an episode if I'm just, like, not feeling it. I've skipped 3 episodes so far.
Oh, wow.
Which is... Yeah, they were all, like, romance episodes, so, you know.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't feel like watching a 13-year-old bumble through not understanding relationships.
Yeah, that's fair. Thinking about it, you might not like Better Call Saul.
I don't know. Like, if the writing's as good as Breaking Bad, I'm down. Like,
I think it's way better, but it's a super different show, no way.
I always told you, like, if there's enough to distract me from the fact that it's like a romance thing, I can deal with it. Like, Future Diary also is like a super like romance heavy thing, arguably. But like, it also has all the crazy shit that happens with it.
You know, the world also ends every episode. So.
Yeah. Oh man.
Seems like a totally fine, cute game.
Yeah, it's like a really solid platformer.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've gotten to another world yet.
I don't think you have. It's all been this green block stuff, so.
That's true. Oh. Oh.
Oh, I didn't see that one either.
And what else? So yeah. Oh, something I was watching, because for a while I thought you guys canceled your HBO Max.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think there was like a day when you're in Mexico when you had to renew it, and I didn't realize.
Oh, yeah. We put everything on hold because it was like gonna renew while we were in Mexico, and we're like, it'd be really annoying if like we thought we had like all this money and then all of our stuff got charged. So we're just gonna not do that while we're there.
Yeah. So I thought you did it, like got rid of it. So I started watching a show you talked about earlier, which is We Are All Dead, I think, that Korean show.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine so far. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna keep on it, honestly.
I need to look this up.
You're looking up the plot. It's like the zombie one.
Oh, yeah. That one, I think that show's super fucking anime.
It is, but like, actually, no, I think it's more Korean drama. Not that that means much to you, obviously, but...
I think it gets way more anime as it goes on, because there's just stuff that's like, why is this taking an hour to talk about this one plot thing?
Maybe. I think this show would have held my interest more if the episodes were like 30 to 40 minutes long rather than the hour they are, because like, I feel like so far every episode there's like 20 minutes I just don't give a shit about.
I agree, actually.
Anyways, this level's fucking hard.
Yeah, I don't know the pattern here.
Wait, is it just... Oh, never mind. This level's fucking easy.
Oh, you did it.
Oops.
You gotta go all the way through.
Yeah.
Oh, and you have to get back through, though.
Yeah, I have to, like, wrap around twice. What am I...
So
Okay.
go through the bottom and then up through the middle again. I don't know how you're gonna get
yep.
the top, though. Unless you can jump through.
Oh, no, you know, I can go back down. These are one-ways above me.
Alright.
Alright. Go. Nice.
Nice, you did it.
But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna... I gave it the 3 episodes, which is usually my limit.
Right.
I just, like, it just isn't that interesting.
I'd say after about episode 4, I think it is, the show does change a lot.
Neat.
Hey, look at that, you got the crowns on all of them.
I think that's all the coins, I'm gonna assume, but
Yeah.
it gets more interesting after 4.
It changes up the plot and like why the plot is what it is, I would say. But at the end of the day, it's still a bunch of high schoolers in a high school full of zombies. Like that, it doesn't really stray from that part.
That's kind of like, I don't care about these characters. You say this a lot. I don't really care about these characters enough to like be like, the 3rd one has a cliffhanger where it's like, oh, this guy's probably dead. But I'm like, okay, I hope so. He's kind of an asshole. I don't know, like, I don't know how much... Oh, whoops, I didn't need to redo this. I don't know how much you, like, remember all of that show. Like, there's just a guy who's like, oh, it's like, oh, he's like an asshole because he actually secretly likes the girl. And it's like, yeah, but like, he's super an asshole. Like,
yeah,
not
he really, like, it actually gets to the point in the show where everyone like says how much of an asshole he is, and like it becomes like a running thing. I don't like the romance in it. It feels super forced, actually, even for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's like no chemistry so far between any of these characters.
There is never any chemistry between any of them except for... Well, I lied. There is chemistry between 2 characters, but they're side characters, and I think it's like 10 episodes. I think in all 10 episodes you get maybe an hour with them.
Nice. Yeah. I don't think I'll continue, like, which is,
totally
you know,
understandable.
I don't know what I expect. I think I've told you this. I'm not like huge into zombie stuff anyways.
You are not. That's correct.
Like sometimes if it's like really funny or like wacky, I'm down. Like I really like Shaun of the Dead. Ultimately, that's like a really good movie. But
great.
At the same time, is it just like a really good movie that happens to be about zombies? Though, is it like actually a zombie movie? Yeah.
It happens. It's a very good movie that happens to be about zombies. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know,
I think you see that by the entire like Cornetto trilogy of like, oh, they're just like really funny and also like really talented writers and actors. Like they can literally have the same plot 3 different movies.
Well, I mean, I think I told you, like, I was really surprised at the range of the two main people that are throughout them, because like each one they're a completely different role. Yeah, and it works really well.
Yeah, they're really good. But yeah, like I would even say that as for zombie things go, and I have a pretty high tolerance for zombie things even now still. As far as zombie things go, like We Are All Dead, or We're All Dead, or whatever it's fucking called.
Actually, We're All Dead. I don't...
it's like, it's not the best zombie thing. I ended up liking it because of what it did with the overall plot of stuff, and like the world that it builds by the end of season 1, and it made me extremely interested in the season 2, but not because of the characters.
Yeah, and like, for me, if a show doesn't have characters I like, I'm just not into it, even if like I really like the idea of the show.
Right.
Which I think I said that's why I feel I gravitate towards animation a lot more. Because like they
characters first.
Yeah, because like for the most part, when you pitch a show, you kind of like have to be like, here's the main people, like here's who they are and like what they do. So like you have to have a strong backbone.
Right.
It depends. Like that's shifted over the ages. like during the SpongeBob era, the executives like, all right, what's the setting? And it's like, what? And like, I forget.
A sponge in the ocean? Like, what more do you want?
I forget which fucking show it was, but like, someone like went up to the execs and like, kids don't like SpongeBob because it's in the ocean. They like SpongeBob because he's SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Like, so you know, it's kind of funny.
There you go. Gotta get back, man. Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, tone deaf executives is nothing new. I assume you probably deal with that more than I do.
Yeah. I think the fact that Santa Clarita Diet didn't get a final season is some fucking bullshit. That might be one of my favorite shows of all time. And that's a zombie show also, now that I think about it. But like it might be the funniest comedy ever made in my mind. It's so fucking hilarious and just off the wall with how weird it is. And it was a good time.
Actually, did I ever tell you about like the dumbest cancellation? It was an anime. Did I ever tell you like the dumbest cancellation I've heard of? So there's this amazingly funny like absurdist comedy called Nichijou, and like it's like just everyone's like, yeah, this is like one of the funniest anime. When it came out, there was a huge tsunami in Japan, like that kind of like devastated. They canceled it because the ratings weren't good enough during the tsunami.
If they really would have liked it, they would have found a way to watch.
Yeah, basically, it's like, what the fuck. So like one of the funniest anime, like it's like up there as my second or third favorite anime, honestly. And like no fucking season 2 because of stupid ass reasons.
So dumb.
Yeah.
They don't care though.
No, they see dollar signs, not art.
Dollar bills, y'all. They got my money on the mine.
Oh my god. You can't sing that, we're gonna get claimed. Oh no!
Oh no, yeah, I know. It sounds exactly like the song.
Our stream goes down. Okay, I don't think it expects me to do that joke. Our stream's gonna go down!
Uh-oh. Nice.
20 out of 20. Cool.
Are you a bat?
I think I'm a mouse with a mask on.
Oh.
Also, I forget, did you say all that you wanted to say about the Sony?
I mean, everything that came out seems fine, or like they showed nothing came out, seems fine. But like the fact that like here's one more thing, and it's just more footage of God of War, which like God of War comes out in like a month and a half or something like that. Like I don't know who's at this point with God of War just like, I don't know about this one though. Maybe show me like 4 more minutes of footage and we'll see. Like I don't, at this point in the process, who isn't sure about this, you know?
Yeah, no, I get that. I noticed that a lot, where it's like, even like Nintendo does that a lot too, where it's like, oh hey, here's the more free Mario Strikers, and it's like, yeah, but like, is anyone gonna buy it now because of the free DLC? Like, oh damn, Diddy Kong's in it? Damn, I better go out and buy Mario Strikers.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me, like these last second marketing pushes. It feels almost like, well, they gave us the money to do it, so we better do it.
Yeah. Oh shit, I almost forgot. So you saw that Pikmin 4 was revealed.
Yeah.
The lead up to it was the most insane shit. Miyamoto comes out, is like, hey, we're still working on the Mario movie. Oh, by the way, it's like, it's Pikmin's 30th anniversary. Not 30th, it's 20th or whatever.
What?
Yeah.
Not that old.
Yeah. Pikmin's 20th anniversary. Pikmin Bloom's on the phone, you guys know. Like, I love Pikmin Bloom. I love walking around with my little Pikmin dudes. And, like, talked about Pikmin Bloom for 4 minutes. And then is like, by the way, Pikmin 4 shows the, like, 5-second trailer And it's like, hey, you guys like my shirt? And it's like a Pikmin 4 shirt. And then it ends.
That's amazing. That's incredible.
It was so fucking funny. My favorite part is I have a friend who adores Pikmin like so much, and like every time we kept joking about the directs, like, oh, this time they're gonna release Pikmin for the Wii U, and like Pikmin, because when Pikmin Bloom came out, we were like, Pikmin for the phone. And then just like it finally happened, and he was asleep during this direct.
Oh no!
But he woke up. It's like Pikmin for the not phone. It was great. I'm really happy for him. I also really wanted Pikmin 4, of course. Like I'm really happy for him.
Pikmin's great. Again, Pikmin coming out, and the new Zelda. I get it. I'm gonna have a tiny little Switch in my hands.
Yeah, Rabbids 2, Mario and Rabbids 2 Deluxe, whatever.
I'm not sure I need that. I mean, listen, if I have a Switch again and it's out, I'll play it. I'm not gonna not play it. The first one was pretty fun.
Yeah. You said it's like
long.
simple XCOM, right?
Yeah, it's like Baby XCOM.
Yeah,
it's fine. Like, it's a little handheld game that you can play and not to think too hard about. You shoot rabbits with a gun when you're Mario. Like, how is that not incredible?
Yeah. Luigi dabs in it, so you subtract 2 points, but you know.
Yeah. But then there's a rabbit dressed up like Luigi who dabs, and you put 1 more point back on.
Oh, I don't know if you saw, they're gonna have like Rayman DLC in the Mario and Rabbids game. And I'm so sad, because like, please let Rayman have a video game again. They created like 2 of so I guess, again, I haven't played it, but like, they created like 2 of the most like renowned platformers, and stopped.
There's the problem, E. Even you admitted, like, I didn't play it. That's the problem. Nobody.
In my defense, nobody
bought Rayman Origin.
I didn't have something to play it on.
I think
the Wii version ran like shit.
Yeah, I think Rayman Legends like sold less than 1 million copies.
Oh man, I almost
bought 2 of them.
I blame more the era they released it in than the like. I think people are just kind of not into platformers at the time.
They weren't, and it was like a weird thing too, because it was a transition period. So like, it was supposed to be Wii U exclusive, and then they're like, "Oh shit, the Wii U sucks. We're gonna wait to launch this to put it on everything." So I bought it on Wii U. It was great, and then later I bought it on PS4. Still great, but nobody else did.
Yeah,
at all. Like I don't know a single actual human being in my real world life who has also played those games.
My friend is the only one I know who played it. My another friend actually had it and like played a couple levels with him, and I was like, "This is really fun."
Yeah,
and then
they're great.
I was a kid with not huge disposable income.
Right, and then like another thing that's cool about Legends is it has like all the best Origins levels in it as unlocks.
Nice. I just like Legends is the only game I've seen where like the gimmicks look fun.
Yeah, they're great. They're super fun,
like,
and they don't like outlive their welcome. Like every level is, I think max the longest level is like 2 minutes in that. So it gives you a ton of little challenges in every level. It makes it to where like I think this is how people feel about Sonic games of like, you know what you're doing, you can get through this thing fucking fast, and it feels amazing.
So Rayman is your favorite Sonic game, is what you're getting at.
Yeah, announced here and now.
No, yeah, I get that. What is the fucking like dark levels look so cool, and the
so
like.
Cool.
I like that it has like a rhythm level too. Like that's really that's a really interesting gimmick.
Every chapter has a rhythm level, and it's so cool. That's actually one of my favorite things that Sackboy's Big Adventure stole. Is it has rhythm levels.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. I played one Rayman game, and it was the DSi port of Rayman 1 for the Super Nintendo.
Oh,
which is like a
the
weird
wrong one.
What do you mean? I didn't have a choice. It was I could play Rayman 1. I had fun with that
Rayman
one.
3DS, man. That's great. It's just Rayman 2.
Maybe. I mean, I have a Super 3DS, you know.
Yeah. You should check it out. It's Rayman 2 is pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's of the era.
Yeah. I mean, I like new Super Mario Bros. For the DS, so if it's like around that level.
I mean, of the era, I mean, it's a 64 game.
64.
Yeah, that's what Rayman 2 was on. 64 and PlayStation 1.
I'm gonna be honest, 64 is probably my least favorite console I have.
It was a pretty good game. I've not played it since then, but...
Oops, I was not paying attention. I've totally blanked out that there were giant spike balls, you know?
I just looked at the comments, and I don't know what this means. I don't know what we were talking about.
Oh.
Sam said, or yen, 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 y'all?
When you said dollar, dollar bill, y'all.
Oh, that's funny. That's very funny.
Good job, Sam. Good one. You gave us the chuckles. Oh, man.
Yen, 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 no matter what.
Yeah. But I don't know, I feel like if they did another Rayman game, it'd probably sell better now. Because I think people are back... Well, you could tell by like what indie games came out, but people are kind of back in a platformer mood.
Yeah, they really are. I would welcome another Rayman game in that style with open arms.
You hear that, Ubisoft? We know you're listening to RITE.
I know you're there.
We know you're following RITE. Ah, shit.
This kind of seems tough.
It looks harder than it is, because I really just gotta...
You gotta play it how they want you to instead of how you want to.
Yeah. I've got to say, like, a big thing I learned about a lot of indie platformers is a lot of them do really feel like it's me fucking up than the game. Because, like, you know, AAA have more, like, hurdles to go to get a game released, and
sure,
can't, like, always dedicate everything, but, like, I've played some games where I'm like, man, that was just kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I think that happens a lot in AAA, actually. It's just like, okay, I guess this was just broken and there was no way for me to know that.
Yeah. Well, my friend always, like, talked about it, like, when you're, like, an indie dev or, like, making little games, the chain of command is, you know what, I think this block would really be better if it was, like, 4 blocks to the right, and then you do it. Whereas if you're AAA, you're like, you have to put in the request to move the block that much, get that approved by, like, the higher-ups, then, like, an executive's gonna come in like, hey, I played Tetris, and I think the block should actually be back over there. And then you're just fucked, because, like, executives just run shit.
Yeah, and it's funny, because it has to be like, I need to ask permission so I can get 3 people on this, because I have to recode the whole fucking thing if I gotta move this block now. So I gotta get 120 hours approved to move this block 4 spaces to the right.
And then they only pay you for 40 of those hours.
Yeah. And you have to sleep under your desk.
Yeah. We need unions in the game industry.
Yeah. Man, so, like, I know you don't really keep up with, you just walked right into that.
Yeah. I was a little slow on the...
I know you don't keep up with, like, the games journalism side of game at all.
Uh-huh.
End of an era at Game Informer. In my
Their
mind,
last
man.
final person?
Like, Andrew Reiner, who was editor-in-chief for 2 years is all, but he's worked there for 30 years, writing and stuff like that. Left. He's leaving. This is last week.
Damn. Yeah, end of an era.
So, like, everybody there who was, like, really big and, like, actually left, like, a huge impact in my life with, like, their writing and, like, their style of videos and stuff like that. Like, everybody's gone from there. Dan Riker, Tim Turry, Jeff, like, everybody's gone.
Yeah. That's,
Reiner now.
Game Informer started, what, like 12 years ago?
No.
Like, online, I guess. I mean...
The videos, I think, started in, like, 2008 when they started doing replay or something like that. But the magazine's been out since the 90s.
Mm. And, yeah, that's wild, then.
Yeah. And I've had a subscription to that on and off since I was a kid. So it's just like like I've literally been reading this man's words my entire life, pretty much.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Like, I definitely felt that before.
It's just crazy. And then, like, very occasionally having, like, the opportunity to, like, speak with him and stuff like that, because the cult that we're in is all based off of that and everything like that. So, like, it's just a crazy thing. Sam's saying he's apparently moving into game development now, so that will be cool.
There is a surprisingly big, like, game journalist to game dev pipeline.
There really, really is. A lot of people in game journalism usually go off to do, like, HR at game companies or things like that.
I think my favorite thing that always happens is they're always like, man, I was kind of harsh on these people after they learned how fucking hard it is to make a game.
Yeah.
Like
Andy McNamara, the former editor-in-chief for Game Informer, since its creation, he left a couple of years ago, and that's when Andrew Reiner took over that position. But he went on to head the team for the newest Battlefield.
Oh wow!
And that was a that was a whole thing, man. He actually had to like delete a whole bunch of tweets because he just started yelling at people for being assholes. Like, it was a whole thing.
Yeah, you gotta... It's unfortunate. You can't just tell shitters to shut the fuck up when you're, like, in the industry.
Yeah, you actually... Especially, like, with that big of a company.
Yeah.
Like, it was very, very strange thing, because he's always been, like, a very open-minded, outspoken person. But then, like, have him be like, you guys, like, this is what we're working on. Like, you guys are angry that we're working on this thing that you want us to work on, but we're not working on it fast enough for you. And then, like, we get it done, and now you don't want this update at all because you say it breaks the thing that you like. Like, I don't know what you guys want, and I don't know what I'm supposed to be directing the team for. And, like, oh, it was a whole thing, man.
It sucks, though, because, like, he is right to an extent. Like,
yeah.
The, like, gamers super want things constantly updated, constantly, like, added at a reasonable, at quote-unquote reasonable pace to them.
Yeah.
But, like, they don't really stop to think that those are people making that shit.
Yeah.
And those fucking, like... Because a lot of those online games have, like, monthly updates, and, like, that's a fucking crunch.
Some
Constantly.
of them are even weekly.
Yeah. Like, what was it? I remember there was, like, some, like, video, like, oh, why, whatever beat Anthem, and one of the things was like Anthem just didn't have like the updates constantly, and it's like
right.
Anthem also didn't have Notorious Crunch.
Yeah,
because I forget what the other game was, but like that was one where it was like a big article came out talking about the horrors of working for the company.
It was probably something with Overwatch or Destiny, I would say.
I think it was Destiny.
If I had to make a guess.
Yeah. Either that, it might have been Fortnite, because Epic Games also had a really bad track record.
Yeah, they still do.
Yeah.
Every AAA company still does, no matter what they say.
One of my favorite was, like, I think I told you about this Twitter I follow, Can You Pet the Dog?
Right.
Fortnite added, like, a thing where you could pet the dog, and they were like, you can pet the dog in Fortnite, and then on the tweet immediately below, by the way, there was a horrible crunch to get this feature into the game, and it really, like, shows how awful working for them was. Like, right under it, like, it's like, yeah, fuck Epic. Like,
just so they could get a fucking Twitter account to be like, yep, you can do it.
Yeah. I mean, it was just part of, like, one of their other updates, but yeah, it was, like,
still,
insane.
though, like, the fact that Fortnite is what it is really just gets the old man in me going. Like, fucking stop it. Just stop it.
It's just, like, it's weird, because, like, one, obviously the target audience is arguably not the audience that should be playing it, yada yada, but, like,
right.
What even is it anymore? Like, you play as Goku and you can kill Darth Vader with a Kamehameha, and then Superman can come in and shoot him with a Glock. Like, what even is Fortnite anymore?
I honestly don't know. Like, when I first played it, because I had convinced Robbie to buy it, way back in the day when you had to buy it, and there wasn't even a multiplayer thing for it like that. There wasn't like a battle royale. It was just the zombie part where you like defend, and then once the battle royale stuff started out, they stopped updating the single player, so it's like but yeah, like even just from like those early days of me putting in a couple matches, like I couldn't tell you what the fuck that game even is now.
Yeah,
I've not touched that game since it launched.
Yeah, and like, I don't want to like say like no one should play like this, but like seeing like the competitive aspect of that game where you just like build a tower the size of Mount Fuji and then snipe the person that was directly under you 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, just
not my jam. And then, like, adding on to also now you have to watch out for Vegeta shooting a Kamehameha at you. I don't know, it's weird. And then, like, John Wick can show up and ride a rocket launcher. I don't know.
It's just insane. It feels like literally what every 13-year-old wishes.
Yeah, which, you know, explains its popularity, ultimately.
Yeah. This level's not going well.
No, but, like, honestly... It's fine. I'll give getting all coins 5 more attempts than just kind of beat it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't want to miss the good ending though.
I doubt there. I would be surprised
to run
if
away from everything like a Metroid level.
Oh, hang on. Let me activating keyboard mode. Oops, that doesn't count.
Activated. Game shuts down. Is keyboard mode better than controller mode?
I have a knockoff Xbox 360 controller, so D-pad.
Right. Yeah. You're right. No pressure. We're all counting.
Oh,
that's the same jump every time.
I know. It's because like there's a weird momentum thing with it that I have to like account for, and I just forget. Oh man.
It seems like you drop really fast.
You do. The controls are like very tight, which is blessing and curse kind of deal.
Right. I think you can get this still.
Yeah, it's like close. Okay. Oh, damn it! Now I'm like invigorated to do it though. Like, I've gone like 10 of the 5 attempts. I'm just like, oh man, I won't do this for every level. I taste it on this one though. Okay. Okay, there we go.
Yeah! Did it. Zafun is saying, I played the Save the World Fortnite, never did the Battle Royale. But I stopped playing after the game kept crashing like 2 updates after I got infinite lawnmower character set up. Huh. I don't see, I played so little, didn't even understand half of that. To be fair, again, a lot of my feelings towards Fortnite have to do with the cancellation of
Paragon?
Paragon. So whenever I talk smack on Fortnite, just know it's because I'm really angry that they got rid of a game that I loved for that.
And when I do it, just know it has no basis.
It's just because I'm just being an asshole.
Yeah.
So just so you're all aware.
No. Oh wait, I don't have to jump from there. I just realized. Oops. That was a bad plan. Yeah.
Blades are mesmerizing.
Yeah, I like this game. Amazing pixel art.
Yeah,
like
really
everything looks so good. The main like the blades spin. Like they didn't have to do that. They could have just had swinging blades back and forth.
Yeah.
But like they like have a little flourish to them.
Yeah.
And like the coins too. Like they go both directions, or all 4, I guess technically. But like it just looks so cool.
Hey, Rubik's Cube. Oh, there's just a game I was... no clip video that I watched recently about Rogue Legacy 2. And just the kind of shit show that development was for them. Because they went into because they did early access with that, and they didn't really have a ton of experience with that. So for Rogue Legacy 2, they were talking in the interviews in the no clip video, saying that we went in with it's early access, and apparently we went in with the wrong percentage. Apparently early access, you're supposed to go in 80% of the game done, 20% to come out soon, and we did the opposite. We had 20% of the game done, 80% coming out soon. And so from the very get-go of launching early access, we were behind tremendously.
Yeah.
And then just them talking about how they implemented 3D to make it look 2D, so they did a 2.5D thing for it. And it's something that I wouldn't even have realized unless they pointed out to me. Because there's another point in the video of them talking about people look at this and they're oh, I don't see why this thing takes so much power. It looks like Rogue Legacy. But if you actually go look at the first Rogue Legacy and then look at Rogue Legacy 2, it's a world of difference, and it actually is. They look completely different. It's insane.
Also, early access is such a weird thing because I don't know what people actually expect from it.
I don't know, honestly.
Because
I don't even know what I would want from early access.
I don't know. To me, early access could be in almost any state. Obviously, it shouldn't be we implemented a mechanic, but 80% is absurd to me. That is almost a finished game. That's not early access. That's just an early copy almost.
For instance, again, I'm gonna bring up Paragon again. That was early access the whole time that we had played that. So whenever they canceled it, they did full refunds for everything anybody had given them money for on that one. Which honestly, good on them. Good on that. Good on them for doing that. That's awesome. But that game went through a lot, man. When we started playing that, all the enemies were literally wires. They were wire models for all of the NPCs, and then half the characters were wire models when it started. So it was that early on. The other one that me and Robbie played, and me and Rocky played this as well, is The Hunt. And I think that's still technically in early access somehow. That's been out for 4 years.
Oh.
And that game's just fun as hell. That game, I would love to play that on stream with Rocky at some point, actually. That game is just so ridiculous. Zafoon says, EA to me is a playable game even if it's unfinished and missing content. More than a demo, but less than the release for early access. When he says,
yeah, I think that's pretty fair. But again, some people expect this game to basically be almost done, which what would the point of releasing a game that's 90% done and gonna release in a month in early access? Basically, I don't know. Gamers are gamers ultimately, I guess, but
I'm genuinely, maybe this is just my weird brain about it, but I think Activision and / Call of Duty ruined what early access and betas and alpha even means to the general populace.
That's probably fair.
Because Call of Duty will be get early access to the beta 1 month ahead before game's released. That's not a beta. You finished the game and now you want people to test your servers. That's what you're doing. Don't call this a beta, you assholes.
I think some are wising up, so they have to actually call it server tests and stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think you have some ground. I think that is more when people started really saying how much in early access should be.
Yeah, it's total shit to make people pay $10 more for a bonus of you gotta play this game, but actually it's we don't know if our servers work.
Yeah. Because it's also the thing where people also expect 2 people who made this game in the free time from their work to have the polish of all the AAA games and be able to do stuff the same as them, and it's man, what?
It just doesn't work that way, man.
No.
There's some indie games that I would say look better, play better than a lot of AAA stuff, that took people years and years and years of their life to get to that point.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like a 2 or 3 year project. Like, it was like, I've dedicated the last 10 years of my life to this thing. This has been like my hobby and my passion.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoy it. Here, I'm only charging $1. Like,
yeah, I like Stardew is famously like the super passion project of that dev.
Yeah.
And it took, I forget exactly, it took a long ass time. But yeah, and then like, even like other indie games, people get weird expectations where like, they expect every game to be like Celeste or Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
Even though those, like, I don't know, like, people are weird, and then there's so many people who make the, like, oh, well, if a game costs $10, it should give you 10 hours, which is just absurd.
I hate that people do that because, like, I don't know, I mean, I guess there's some people you have to be super frugal, right? You have to be like, that's why I only play RPGs, because, like, I need at least $1 an hour or whatever like that, but, like, at that point, it's not even, like, about are you enjoying it, you're just, like, trying to get your money's worth.
Yeah. There's so much, like, about that. Because, there was a big one that, like, everyone made fun of on Twitter for a bit, which was someone, like, was reviewing Cult of the Lamb, left a negative review, had 17 hours in it, and was like, this game costs $15. Do you think that really hour to dollar ratio is worth it? It's like, did you have fun? Like, everything else, he was like, this was an extremely fun game. I had a blast playing it. It wasn't long enough.
Like, at that point, you're just being an asshole, you know?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, it's the thing, it's gamer entitlement is a lot of it, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh. And, like, I obviously, like, have bias as a dev myself, where I'm like, fuck, man, making a game that long, shit. But, like, it also is, like, why roguelikes are so fucking popular now, is because, like, you can promise hundreds of hours, technically. Because we play it a lot, but at the same time, like this game has extremely well-crafted levels. This game would not be fun as a roguelike, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, it would not work.
And, like, I don't know, a lot of that, a lot of that rubs me the wrong way, obviously.
Yeah, I've never liked the hours to money ratio kind of thing.
Even for AAA, which, like, has more money to actually, like, dedicate, you just get bloated games.
Yeah, that's all all it does is give you Assassin's Creed every year, you know?
Yeah. Like, could you imagine if, like, the fucking new Kirby game was 60 hours? That would be, like, insane. I know you haven't played it, but, like...
Wasn't there, like, a long-ass Kirby game, though?
I think Squeak Squad was kind of long. I mean, Robobot and, Triple Deluxe are, like, 20 or 30 hours. And, you know, $40 because 3DS games.
Right.
So, like, I think those are reasonably long. I don't know.
I just remember there being, like, it was some sort of Nintendo game recently that was, like, it was, like, 60 hours, and it was, like, a platforming side-scroller thing or something, right?
I don't remember this. No.
Maybe I'm going crazy.
Because the newest Kirby game is, like, 15 to 20, depending on how good you are and, like, how much you feel like exploring.
Yeah, it still feels like a lot to me, but...
I guess Odyssey was pretty long, again, depending on how good you are and how much you like doing. Like, I think I put, like, 60-some hours into that just because I liked looking for all the moons, even though, realistically, it's not all are that interesting.
Yeah, there's some that are just not cutting it, you know?
I hated the ones that were look into the sky for, like, 5 seconds to see a taxi. Like, it's like, come on.
There was, I think once I got to the moon, I was like, man, I'm gonna shoot for the end of this game now, because I was spending all the time, everything, to, like, get every single moon. And then I got to the moon, and it's really unfortunate that I, like, started to feel that way there, because the moon might actually be my favorite level of that entire game.
The moon is easily one of the best. It's like Moon, New Donk City.
Yeah.
I really like the sand level too. I think that one's really well done.
I don't like sand levels in any Mario game. I don't know what it is. Just like the feeling of them.
I mean, don't worry, that one was an ice level.
You're right. Actually, it was, wasn't it?
Oh no, you know, other level. It's obviously just like short because it's a Bowser level. The fucking Samurai Bowser level was so cool. Your first time going there.
I don't remember that.
It's like your first. It's like the fake final boss, where like you go into like this feudal Japan area.
Yeah,
That
okay.
area is so fucking cool.
That was fun. That was cool. I mean, that was a good game. Odyssey was just a good ass game.
Yeah, might be my favorite 3D Mario. I need to replay Galaxy to really determine that.
Yeah, but then I gotta wave that arm around.
Yeah. The like hard part about a lot of that is it's really hard to go back to a game after getting something like Odyssey's controls are so good.
Buttery smooth, man.
Yeah, like I don't like 64 a whole lot, and it's because those controls just don't feel great. They're way better than anything any other like 3D platformer was offering at the time, but like they do not feel good nowadays.
Like, honestly, you want to know what my biggest problem is with Mario 64? The difficulty curve on that.
Yeah.
It goes from 10 to 100 so fast.
I get, like, the idea is you're supposed to kind of go back and forth between a lot of them. I don't think I know anyone who actually did that, though. Everyone was like, okay, let me get all the stars I can in Bob-omb Battlefield.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like,
you're already here. Like, why am I gonna go to another level after and like just forget the layout of this one now? Like, why would you do that?
I think that's like what made Odyssey feel so good is you kind of had that like similar layout, but you didn't get kicked out constantly.
Yeah.
Like you got the triple moon. All right, where you can like go find the moon for eating a hamburger on the Seattle skyscraper.
Yeah. I hope for the next one they really do lean into like just make it one big fucking open world, man. Like just let people explore.
I don't know how much I like that or not. Like they could do it, and I think it would be executed well. Again, I'm kind of tired of open worlds.
If you've played like one.
What do you mean? I've played like 5.
What open worlds have you played?
I've played Skyrim. Didn't like that one.
Okay, well that's Skyrim.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, yeah. Well, that's innovation. That's innovative.
It is. Like, that's probably the best open world I've played. I play random indie ones. I usually give up on them, though. Like, it's...
An open world game is not an e-game.
No. The biggest thing, like, some games do it better than others. I just feel like I'm, like, walking in nothing for a whole too much in a lot of them.
The worst ones do that. I think Breath of the Wild did that a lot, but I liked that in that because the sense of discovery was so heavy in that.
Breath of the Wild is like hit or miss for me. I told you I don't like the constant shrines and stuff. At a point, I just kind of wanted to ignore them, but I kept going to them anyways because I'm a completionist.
See, I was the opposite. I was like, I'm gonna go into all these shrines.
They're just it's like a slight puzzle. A lot are similar puzzles. And like some are literally nothing. Some are literally just you get a thing, and it's usually a weapon I don't need. That was like the other thing. Is it always was I had full inventory, and then got a weapon I don't need.
Yeah, throw down something you don't need then, man.
That would also be a weapon I don't need. Like that's all I had is weapons I don't need.
It's fun. It's great. It's super fun.
I like it's a good game, and there's a lot for it. I just like certain aspects of Zelda that weren't there.
I mean, yeah, if you're looking for like a Zelda, just a Zelda game, like it's not that. No. I've heard from a lot of purists that are like, I fucking hate Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. It's definitely a really good game, but like, I want another 3D, like typical 3D Zelda in the next decade. A very tall order, I know.
I was gonna say, well, it's not the next one. We already know that.
Yeah, I know that. I don't know. Like, I wonder if what feedback they're gonna take and roll with.
I bet if I had to take a bet, I would say they're going to use the same map from Breath of the Wild. Something weird happens so they can transform it. Like some of the, I think obviously the easiest thing to say here would be like, like Ganon makes an earthquake happen, and for some reason gravity turns off, and all the rocks go in the sky, and then you get a bird friend again. Like, I think that's literally all it's gonna be.
Maybe.
And I like all of that except for the bird friend part.
Listen, the flying's gonna be way better than Skyward Sword. I know you like think it's gonna be Skyward Sword. It's gonna be way better.
Yeah, but like I think also like the reason why they would go the Skyward Sword and like have a bird route, because I think a lot of people's main complaint with Breath of the Wild was like, all right, like I've been in this area, I need to go back for something now, and now it's gonna take me fucking forever to get back there if I don't want to use fast travel. But that game's so cool, like you don't want to use fast travel because you want to see stuff that happens along the way.
Constantly.
See, it's just different mindsets, man. I wanted to see everything that world had to offer.
I already saw it when I was going there.
But it changes.
What? What changes ever? I did it like like 5 times, and I was like, I'm just gonna fast travel back now.
If it's like a certain time of day, different stuff happens. It's awesome.
I don't know, like, to me, all that, like, is inevitably gonna happen when you get, like, just playing it as much as I did. Where I don't, like, feel the need to go back a certain path, because I'm gonna see it somewhere else, almost. Certainly.
See, I was so enamored with it. And, like, honestly, I think a lot of this is that, like, it was such a huge departure from open world games. And you hadn't played, I don't think you've really played, like, a big AAA open world besides Skyrim, right?
Yep. I mean, give me a list of what qualifies as an open world, and maybe I can figure that out, but...
I mean, I would say, like, Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, those are
I have played Grand Theft Auto, I didn't get into it. I drove around a lot, and then activated cheats and started messing around, and then stopped playing.
See, like, that's an open world. But, like, I think that's just the style of open world isn't for you. Like, any Assassin's Creed is an open world kind of thing. Like, it's just the idea of, like, I am in this world and I want to see what this world has to offer. Like, that's what an open world really is.
See, like, that's the thing to me, is, like, I don't feel like that's... Like, obviously, I'm not saying you feel this way. It's just, like, it's not, like, exclusive to open worlds, that feeling. Like, I felt like that in Wind Waker all the time.
Wind Waker's open. I would call Wind Waker open world.
Alright, Wind Waker's my other open world, then, that I, liked.
That game is super, super free, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, kind of, but kind of not. You still had to do dungeons in an order, basically.
Right. Like, also the thing with, like, Breath of the Wild that was so awesome was, like, from the very beginning, it's like, here's your goal. Whenever you're ready, you can go there. Explore until then.
Yeah.
And like every other open world game is like, all right, here's your mission list. Here's the tower you have to climb. Here's the delivery missions you have. Here's like the thing. Like everything is like mapped out for you. Like this is where this is. This is where this is. And Breath of the Wild was like, okay, here's the world. Figure it out or don't. It's up to you. When you're bored, you can just leave.
So confused.
This isn't working.
No, am I not? What? How's this level work?
Zafoon says GTA is more sandbox. It is sandbox, but it's open world also.
How does this work? Like, what am I supposed to do about this?
I think you have to time it very, very specifically.
I guess. It is a PlayStation platformer. I should have expected it.
Starting to feel real Meat Boy-y.
Kinda. Meat Boy's weird, because it's like... I would say... Barring the last level of Meat Boy, it's like a reasonable challenge. Or last world, I should say. And then the last world's like, fuck you.
Yeah, you really hated that last world.
It sucks. I've like watched a bunch of people. Most people agree that last world's kind of sucks. Like, if it was the last world was the optional, like, subworld thing, I think people wouldn't care. It's just that, like, you have to do the annoying levels.
Yeah.
Also, apparently I just got godlike at doing this out of nowhere, what?
Yeah, how does this work? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. So, like... But, like, I don't know. Zelda games, I always feel like that. Kirby games, I feel like that a lot, and that's just a platformer. Some Mario games give that feeling to me, like, trying to find the secret exits and stuff. I don't know, like, it just, like... maybe it's just because, like, I'm easy to impress. But like in a non-rude way. I mean, I'm being rude to myself is fine, but like like in a like more nuanced way of like I don't need like a huge open world, like
Right.
maybe it's just like I was so like ingrained by the Game Boy Advance games I played so much that like everything else felt huge in comparison. Like you joke, you laugh but like I think that might be some of it. Like again, Mario 64 was insane at the time because you had Mario World before it. So like my gaming was like a Game Boy Advance, then the Wii. So like that's a huge jump.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think it also just is like the different games we played, honestly.
Yeah, I'm much more a platformer guy than you, for sure. Well, I say that, you're definitely more a 3D platformer guy than I am.
Yeah, I like 3D platforms a lot.
Whereas, like, I like again, because I struggle a lot in 3D, but, like, I
saw that.
I like 2D because I just feel like I know I can control it a lot better.
Yeah.
To the point of, I beat extremely difficult platformers like Celeste and Meat Boy and those.
It's also just hilarious to like know that you beat Celeste and Meat Boy, and Last of Us. You're like, I'm looking at the wall. I don't see why you're mad. I'm looking at this wall while walking backwards.
Because I don't use cameras. It's like a struggle for me to use it because it's not ingrained in my playstyle. Like I'm used to cameras just kind of like whipping around you and like being like, all right, you look over there.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
like constantly. Yeah.
Very funny. Very funny.
Yeah, it is funny. Like I don't blame you guys, especially like playing a first-person shooter. Basically, was hard. I don't have the muscle memory to like simple things to you. Like you're like, just shoot, like just do a headshot. That was hard. I didn't have the aiming ability. I still don't. Half-Life was not a good like practice first-person shooter for me.
Well, you made it work for you, you know?
Yeah, but like I Last of Us and Half-Life 2, I'm probably gonna struggle a lot more when they expect you to have those abilities. I almost wonder if I should. Well, no, Doom would probably be bad at like muscle memory.
Doom would not be great. No. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with Half-Life 2. I think you might struggle with a few parts in Last of Us.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's funny. I think it's like really funny to me about how we game 2 is like, I'll be like visibly frustrated and like very angry, and then immediately after be like, yeah, this is like a really fun game.
Yeah, fuck this bullshit. Like, why do you even have this in the game? It's like, well, E, what'd you think of it? You're like, I'm having a really great time.
Yeah, well, like, Half-Life 1 was literally like that the whole stream is. I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why can't I hit this guy?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I think I know how this is going. I was like, yeah, I want to play more.
Like,
you were like, yeah, you were really surprised. I think Last of Us, you're kind of surprised too.
I did not know you were enjoying that at all.
Yeah. Oh. Alright, good start. Yeah, well, like, that's just because, I mean, if you watched me, you did hear me play Celeste, you probably wouldn't think I like that game as, like, one of my favorite platformers of all time, too.
That's fair.
I was very angry, I was very frustrated playing Celeste, but, like, it's you know, it's the dopamine thing of, like, doing a hard challenge, once you get the release, it's rewarding. And, you know, games always have to tote that fine line. Like, Celeste did it perfectly to me. Even, like, the last levels of that game were very frustrating. But I felt, like, really rewarded when I did it. Versus Meat Boy, where the last levels are frustrating, and I just felt like I wanted to be done with it.
Yeah.
So, you know. Also, Celeste had, like, 12 years more to work with than Meat Boy.
When I was playing Celeste, I got past the Ghost Mansion area or whatever it is, and I got to the Wind area, and that's my least favorite platforming thing ever, and so it annoyed me enough to where I didn't want to play it anymore. I literally hate platformers where wind is something you have to think about. It just annoys the shit out of me. I don't know why.
There's, like, different versions. I love Celeste's Wind because, like, it's an influence, but it also can be used heavily to your advantage.
You have to use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I got past that and got to where there was like wind and ice, and I was like, this is bullshit.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember wind and ice. I know there's wind and clouds, like the where you can
that's
fall
what it was,
off. Yeah.
clouds, yeah, that's what it was. Oh shit.
Yeah. I know you said you enjoyed Celeste a lot more once you stopped going for strawberries too.
I did, yes. I think also helping me enjoy it a lot more was that I realize now that the little Celeste game inside Celeste wasn't required.
Oh, yeah. That I don't like. It's fun because it's like, oh, this is like the original version of Celeste. So it's like it's fun in that regard.
Yeah.
But it is not as good.
yeah. It's silly though.
Sam says, watch The Last of Us archived ep and hope you keep going with it. I plan to. We'll figure out how we're going about it, but I do plan on continuing it. It might be a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it probably will be a couple weeks for that one. I have figured out the audio stuff though, so we should be good to go on
Yay.
anything PS5 from here on out. We will have at least audio that's like good for us and for the stream. Instead
Honestly,
of just good for the stream.
That could be a very fun. It sucks because like I always think of like games that would be fun for me to experience for the first time. Yeah. Instead of, I guess you and Robbie were more versed in games ultimately than I was growing up.
Yeah,
because like I said, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance.
you had a major in Nintendo with a minor in Sega.
Yeah. Well, the funniest part is like I didn't actually have that many games growing up when I think about it. Like, I just replayed the few I had a lot.
Yeah, you actually did. You played Pokemon a lot, right?
Yeah, the 3rd gen, I had Pokemon Sapphire. I beat that like 5 times. It's not even my favorite Pokemon game. It's like, I think it's good, and I like it a lot more than most people do. But it's not even my favorite. But I just kept replaying it. Because, like, what else am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I had that, I had Flash.
Sam says, yeah, the audio was kind of rough. It was. So here's a little behind the scenes with how the PS5 functions, right? So we're playing Last of Us Remake on PS5. How the PS5 functions with audio, and since we're working with an older Elgato, how we have to stream is we don't actually get to hear any of the audio coming into our ears through our audio deck or anything like that, which makes it kind of annoying to play something on a PS5 because we want to be able to hear the game, right? So it's not just as simple as like hooking up a different audio thing and then putting that into our deck, because the PS5 has 3 options for audio: through HDMI, through auxiliary, or through a USB headset that you plug in. Now, if you do any one of those things, it cuts off the audio to the other things. So if I were to before have used a headset, well, now the stream's not getting audio because it's not going through the HDMI anymore. You can't use 2 audio sources at once. If I go through the controller, right, I'm still not getting audio. I can't hear anything, and I didn't have a way to get that to the stream. So like, my fix for this is I found an auxiliary cable to XLR, so a male auxiliary to male XLR cable that will go into the audio port of either the controller or a headset that will be hooked up, and that audio will go into our deck, so we'll be able to hear that, and then it won't be going through the HDMI, so you'll get that stereo audio through that, and we'll also get stereo audio through that. So that'll be better. It's a pain in the ass. Anyway, that's behind the scenes on how a PS5 audio works.
Yeah, it didn't help that I move so much too, and the mic was not going as far back as I realized it needed to go.
Yeah, that was an issue as well. But,
to be fair, when it's me playing again, I'll probably be in your spot that you're in right now, and I'm much better there.
Yeah.
Because in that spot, mostly I just kind of swivel around, but I've managed the art of keeping my head still like a bird. Hey, we're on World 3.
Hey, look at that.
Oh yeah. Also, Sam said she mostly played Pokemon Blue and Yellow. I actually had Yellow, but Yellow's kind of stinky. Like
I
don't-
only played Yellow.
Yellow's pretty stinky. That's why you don't like Pokemon.
No, Pikachu is adorable.
Yeah, but those games are kind of stinky.
Why? What's wrong with them?
So much. There's so
Pokemon.
There's so many issues you just get by playing the game normally. Yellow's a little better than like Blue and Red, but like,
Aren't those like the originals?
yeah,
Oh.
they barely run.
Oh.
Like it was Iwata is the only reason we have Pokemon for the most part, and like he's the only reason Generation 2 has the like go back to the first gen thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not like the gens themselves that are stinky, it's the games.
Okay. I mean, the other Pokemon that I have tried to play was a 3DS one, and I didn't like that either.
Yeah,
That
those are
just
like
stems
fine.
from my whole turn-based.
Yeah, you're kind of weird about... No, it's fine. Turn-based is like the most... Surprisingly, is like one of the most contentious... Or... Contentious? Is that the right word?
Yeah, like fought over.
Yeah, like contentious video game mechanic. Because like some people like just hate them all the way. And then others are like, no, it's like neat.
Like, I think it really just depends, because, like, the people that I know that really like turn-based are like, yeah, I just like being able to, like, take my time with the battle and think it through and, like, just really get a strategy going.
Yeah,
There's other people who are like, I absolutely hate having to wait. Like, it's so dumb. Like, you have to wait turns to fight, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's always that argument. For me, it's that a turn-based RPG is a puzzle. Like, that's the entire idea behind it. Every battle is a puzzle. But the problem with most of those is that there's so many random encounters that, like, hey, I fought these enemies, and, like, maybe the first few times I don't get it, but eventually you do. And then that's just the strategy that you always use to fight these guys over and over and over again. So it's just, for me, it's the repetitive nature of it.
See, and that boils to something you didn't like about me playing Half-Life. You don't have to use one way to beat everything, even like the same thing. So the thing about turn-based RPGs ultimately is that like the random battle, I do like get not liking random battles, like just like you're walking and then you hit one. Like I get that.
Yeah.
I much prefer if like it's actually on the field, so you can think about like if there's a way to avoid it. But oops, I'm choking on my spit.
Uh-oh.
So like the main purpose of a lot of those battles that I didn't realize till I got much older is like they're good. They're like safe places to try strategies that you might want to use for later bosses or later enemies. So like if you have like the mage with however many spells, here's a good place to be like, all right, is like poison a decent thing? Or like, what if I use poison, then use this character's ability to this thing? Like it's like a safe place to do that. So in some ways, the battles are kind of like a training dummy that you get stronger by fighting.
Yeah, I think I just don't like that.
I mean, that's fair. Like I not every genre clicks with everyone. I just like, there's different ways to go about it. Like, Undertale famously has the like bullet hell sections as their turn-based actions, rather than just like you hit it, it hits you.
Yeah, which I think is better, honestly.
Yeah, and then Earthbound, not Earthbound, but Mother 3 has a like rhythm section basically, where if you hit it to the beat of the song playing, you get bonus attack.
That's awesome.
It's great. It feels so like good to use too, and like there's no way I can like sit you guys down to play Mother 3. Well, Robbie would be down obviously, but like
yeah, he'd be down.
It'd be a long stream if we did that. But like it's such an amazing feeling when you're like fighting a boss, you have 4 HP, and you feel the rhythm, you're like da 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 da, and it's just enough to kill the boss on the last hit. Like it feels so good. And like I guess turn-based RPGs kind of have that feeling regardless of the actual stakes, because eventually you'll hit that. And like some people really like if you can see a boss's HP. I don't usually.
Okay.
It depends on the game. Like I think there's some games that do it a lot better than others.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say if I had to be like my 2 favorite turn-based RPGs.
Paper Mario and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door.
No, I actually don't even count those as RPGs because like they're fun. No,
They're literally RPGs.
they are. I wasn't even thinking about those though. So
No,
get those out of the way. Like a traditional turn-based RPG.
Uh-huh.
My 2 favorite ones, I would say, probably Earthbound. I really like the battle system in that because it's like if you're super strong, we're not gonna make you fight this thing. Like there's no reason. You win the battle if you're super strong. Like we already know. That's my favorite. That's my favorite thing because like even the game's like this is boring as shit. We're not gonna make you do this. Like we both know you can win.
Yeah.
And then the other one, which I think is probably going to be a shocker for you here, E. I really like Xenosaga.
I don't think I know what Xenosaga is. It was on like the Wii, wasn't it? Is it the prequel to Xenoblade?
Well, it came out first.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that makes it a prequel. It came out first.
I really
predecessor is what I meant. Sorry.
Predecessor, yeah. I like them because they're like, I mean, they're turn-based RPGs.
Yeah.
But like, the world and the story was actually interesting to me, and like the stakes were so stupid high in that. Like, I think it's the first one. You can't even save until you've gotten like 4 hours into the game.
Oh, I fucking remember this. You were telling me about this.
And like the first cutscene is 2 hours long. It's incredible. It's so stupid. I really liked those things.
Well, if you like that, you should play Guilty Gear Strive, where the story mode is literally just watching a movie.
Sweet, yeah.
Also, it's super anime though.
I mean, that's why Metal Gear Solid 4 is my favorite Metal Gear Solid game. You barely have to play it.
I think a lot of people really like 4.
It's so good.
We'll get there eventually. I'll play some of them.
Yeah.
Sam says Costume Quest 2. I've only played Costume Quest 1, so I don't know if you're like if that lets you skip battles or which part that was, but or if that's her favorite RPG.
I did like Costume Quest actually.
Costume Quest is fun, but like a lot of old Double Fine games are really janky.
Oh yeah, they are 1000%. Like the writing is why you're playing those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I love Psychonauts, but it is like a rough early 2D or 3D platformer.
Yeah.
Which that's the crazy part about Psychonauts 2 is it's a really solid 3D platformer.
That's the twist.
Yeah. And also the writing is much better in a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, I've heard great things about Psychonauts too.
Oh shit. I can't get the rest.
Oh no, you have to go down first then.
Yeah. Oops. Oops. Oh, actual oops. Yeah, Xenosaga.
Yeah, as for like modern RPGs, I really do like the South Park games.
I mean, the Paper
those
Mario.
are mileage may vary depending on how you feel about South Park, but the gameplay in those is very fun.
Yeah, I almost want to get it just because I know they're Paper Mario. Luckily, an indie Paper Mario game did come out, so I didn't have to play through South Park.
Yeah, I don't know what you would feel about that writing because a lot of it is like that first one, the Stick of Truth, is like it feels like it was basically made for me. It's just Lord of the Rings, but also South Park, and then also Paper Mario. Like it feels like they were like, "Hey, Jeriah would love this."
I mean, I know I don't show it much. I love Lord of the Rings. I think that's probably one of the best movies ever made.
Good. Yeah.
I know, I know you were like saying you thought I would like Harry Potter more than Star Wars, and you would like have to like come to terms with that. That didn't actually happen. I do think Star Wars as a whole is more solid. But like,
1 second, I gotta get this highlight and show to Liz.
Oh my gosh, don't! No, you're not allowed to send that to Liz. Harry Potter is also good. I disagree that there's bad Harry Potter movies. But like, I think Lord of the Rings trumps them both, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. I am right there with you. Sam says she's only played Costume Quest 2 on Game Pass and it's fun, and she's also been playing a ton of Power Wash Simulator lately.
I know, like, it's like the Zen out. I can't play those games.
Simulator
it's like
genre's huge, man.
It's like if you release like watching paint dry simulator, which probably exists, like unironically. Like there probably is like a house painter, and you have to like wait for the paint to dry in real time.
I bet it would do gangbusters.
Yeah. This is our level. I need to be more patient.
Fuck, you can say that for every level. I need to be more patient.
I don't know. Some I could just kind of zoop through.
Zoop?
Yeah. When you go fast, you zoop.
When you're here, you're family.
And I don't know why. Like, well, it's because I had bought Costume Quest 1 and 2 at the same time. I like started 2 and then didn't finish it.
Yeah.
I had a bad habit of that early Steam. I got much better.
I never even played the second one at all. I like the first though.
Yeah, it's like the first but better is what I've told, but like it was so like recent to when to like when
oh, there you go.
to when Costume Quest 1 was made, like they just felt kind of similar. And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, I'll get on this eventually. I didn't. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. Like, I'm not saying like they're bad or that. No, I'm gonna say I don't think I'll ever play them unless like I do it for a stream. But like,
yeah,
just there's a lot of random ones, and like it was when I played games on my shitty laptop. Like,
man,
that
you played all of Ori on your little shitty laptop.
Yeah,
that
I
was
don't know
hilarious to
how.
me.
Funnily enough, Costume Quest ran worse than Ori.
Jesus.
Costume Quest was not like well made for the PC. Like it optimized. There we go. Fuck, I should have went the other way. Costume Quest was not optimized very well. I'm gonna say.
I can see it. They were a small team at the time with very little budget.
Yeah. No.
Now they're a slightly. Actually, they're a fucking huge team.
They're huge. Yeah.
With all the money in the world.
Yep. I don't know what they're working on right now, but probably something good.
I don't know. I'm interested to see like if they still have that touch when they have all this money and they don't have to be like so scrappy about stuff.
I mean, Psychonauts 2 had all. Well, I think they had to get a kickstart on that, or not a kickstart, but like a jump start.
So like, yeah, they actually had their own Kickstarter that they made.
Yeah, they had their own service even.
Yeah, and some games it went through that actually.
Yeah,
like theirs was different because it was like, hey, you're investing in this. You're not just like giving us money. Like, if it sells over this amount, you get this amount back. Like that's.
Yeah.
And I think like the lowest you could give was like $10,000. So like.
Yeah, it was for big. They were basically getting publishers, but as like a direct investment rather than publish.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, it worked out for them.
It did. They got like $4 million to start the project, and then Microsoft came in right at the end and was like, how about way more money?
Yeah, I don't know if the game would exist if Microsoft didn't like step in at the end and be like, you know, Psychonauts is dope.
Yeah. It's also one of those weird things to where like, hey, just it's actually like the last 2 years were just like a weird time for video games because it's like Psychonauts 2, a Microsoft game, basically, on every console. Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, PS5 exclusives for a year, are Microsoft games.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
I mean, Microsoft definitely like just looks for. They're like the AAA Devolver.
Yeah, yeah.
In a lot of ways, they just look for like what looks like it's gonna. Because like, it's weird to me that they just like randomly picked up Cuphead. Because, like...
Yeah, that one's weird.
I'm gonna say, does not feel like a Microsoft game.
No.
In the slightest.
No, I don't know if you could say what a Microsoft game is now at this point.
No. They definitely branched out. Like, I definitely would have said, like, Microsoft was super, like, gunplay focused with, like...
Yeah.
Random... I mean, there was a while where they were just, like, gun and also rareware.
I mean, honestly, Microsoft, to me, was like, we're the dude bro, right?
Yeah,
That's what we are.
like, all the sports games.
Yeah. So,
All
like,
the
the fact that
shooters.
they're like, hey, we're the dude bro, and your nerdy son. Like...
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it was so weird, though, because, like, even when they were super into, like, Call of Duty and all the sports games, they also had Viva Pinata as, like, one of their most popular games.
Yeah, that's still looked on as, like, being so many people's favorites.
I love Viva Pinata so much. I never got far in it, because that game's hard, actually, if you're trying to, like, do stuff, but... it's just, like, such an interesting game, is the biggest thing about it. There's no game that, like, actually was like Viva Pinata. And none since, really. Even, like, indie games, I don't think anyone, like, tried to go for that. Probably because it's fucking, like, difficult to program shit like that, but, like...
Yeah, it's like a weird animal farm simulator thing. It's very weird.
And there's so much, like, intricacies, like... you couldn't have certain... If you had certain animals on your farm, other ones would try to eat them. Even if they were, like, your pet, they would still try to eat your other ones.
And, like, other animal or other pinatas would, like, come in and, like, attack, and it was like a whole thing. It was a whole fucking thing. Just it was a farming / animal simulator disguised with pinatas.
Yeah, it was fun as fuck though. Like it was jank, as most rare games ultimately are. But yeah, I had so much fun with it. It's like so funny because like I always say like I wasn't really into Xbox and stuff, but a lot of my like the big games that probably like influenced my taste in video games were also on Xbox 360 in particular. Well, Xbox original too, because I fucking love Fusion Frenzy. That game's so fucking dope.
You know what original Xbox game I never really got to play all the way?
What?
And I've played like maybe 45 minutes of it. Grabbed by the Ghoulies. I always wanted to play that.
Isn't that the Rare game?
Yeah.
It sucks, I heard. Like, no joke, I heard it's not good.
I've always wanted to. Like, it's been my dream. Like, oh yeah, it's garbage.
I mean, feel free to play it. I just heard it's like... Well, it's bad in, like, it didn't age well, I heard.
Yeah. It's in the Rare Replay collection.
Uh-huh.
And I have an Xbox now, so I'll probably check that out at some point.
Yeah. I actually haven't played a whole lot of Rare games. I tried Banjo-Kazooie, and, like, I think it's fun, but I never, like, got into it.
I don't like it. It's better than Mario 64, but I don't like it.
And then, I remember, when I was young, everyone was like, oh yeah, Banjo-Tooie's, like, way better. And now the opinion's like, Banjo-Tooie's not great.
Yeah,
it just, like, had more stuff. And, like, Banjo-Kazooie was, like, more consistent.
Yeah.
Alright.
They did the Diddy Kong stuff, you know?
The Donkey Kong
Racing.
Like, I have Diddy Kong Racing. It's a fun racing game.
Yeah, they did that.
I mean, they did the Donkey Kong Country series, 1, 2, 3, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm trying to play. I don't have online anymore, so I'm kind of stuck. But the issue is, like, I was, like, a quarter through Donkey Kong Country 1, and then lost online, so, like, I can't just, like, oh, well, I'll just boot it up. I'm like, man, I don't want to, like, replay all the first levels, because, like, it's fun, but, like, those first levels are kind of, like, whatever.
Yeah.
I might just skip to 2, because, like, I heard they're just better anyways, like, the sequels to the first one.
I think Donkey Kong Country 2 is the better one.
Yeah.
I think 3 goes a little too weird with, like, the platforming styles, but I think 2 is where it's at.
See, that's interesting, because I actually had a lot of people, like, come back to play all 3 again, and they're like, actually, 3's extremely good, and maybe on par, if not better than 2.
I'm gonna say, I've not played 3 since I was a child, so...
Yeah. Also, if you couldn't tell, I activated keyboard mode again. Getting around those things is a bitch. Alright.
Sam says, Power Wash Simulator. is a great podcast game when I want to zen out and not have to use my brain. And then she's saying she played it in Uncharted 4? I think she means Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, I was gonna say what?
Not Banjo-Kazooie. Crash Bandicoot, though, you do legitimately play that
Yeah.
in Uncharted 4. It's hilarious. Ooh, this level's stressful.
This is what I'm gonna say is just like way easier than it seems.
Yeah, I think...
You shouldn't do that.
I think the visual stress of it is, like,
Yeah.
the part. Speaking of Uncharted, that is a game you would straight up not like.
It's hard
That's
to, I
one,
mean,
like, I can already tell you before ever even trying to put that one in front of you, like, that one's not gonna cut it for you, man.
I mean, what would you didn't think I was gonna like Half-Life?
That's true, but, like, I don't know. What if, like, an action-adventure game to where if you mess up, you have to do all of it over?
That usually is not what I like in video games.
Yeah. That's that game. Oh, you gotta get all the way to the top there.
It's actually easier to go up.
Looks like
you could do... Oh, I went too fast, but you could just...
Oh, yeah, you
shoot,
can
shoot.
do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Crash Bandicoot I also never played. Obviously, I didn't have a Sony system, so... I don't know why I said Sony system. I should have said PlayStation. They never changed the name.
They've not gone any differently on that one since their start.
Oops.
I am not a big Crash Bandicoot fan. I think they're totally fine. I just don't like running at the screen. I think that sucks.
See? Stick to 2D platformers. You never have to do it.
It's true. You don't ever have to do that. But it's funny because, like, Crash Bandicoot,
Oops.
I really hate the levels where you're running at the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Uncharted, there's 3 or 4 sequences in those games to where you're like running at the screen. And I'm like, this is cinema. It's a weird disconnect.
This is just you. You can't take things seriously unless they're people.
It's not even true.
No. Are you thinking about it?
Of what?
Oh, I don't know. You do like a well, kind of
Oh no, that was just me screaming because I thought you were gonna die.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, man, if you like reveal here that you actually can never take it. I had someone in my college who like flat out said that like, because we were like coming up with game ideas, and I was like, oh, you know, like you're like a voodoo thing, and you're like getting all the pieces, and they're like, yeah, but like, shouldn't it be like the guy who has the voodoo is like the focal point of the story? I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, you know, because like, how are people gonna take it seriously if you're like a voodoo? I'm like, what? I was like, yeah, it's so weird to me. Some people are just like that. Like, I don't know.
Like, maybe you're not supposed to take it seriously.
Even that, like, I don't know. Like, I feel it's weird if you can't take a story that isn't directly involving a human seriously.
I mean, sure, but like, it depends on the writing, obviously.
Yeah, but like, that's my point.
Right? Yeah, it's the writing to do the heavy lifting, not the fact of like,
Yeah.
whether or not they're a doll or not.
I mean, it should say, like, one of my favorite cartoons that isn't Ed, Edd n Eddy, because that's just cheating, is a cartoon about, like, in the first season, a girl is on an infinite train and finds a robot and a talking dog. And it's also one of the most, like, emotionally invested I've ever been in a show.
That season 1 is magic in a bottle.
I still... It's not even my favorite season still.
I know, you do say that. I've not like gone online to see any kind of to see like what people's like favorites are. But man, I just did not like season 2.
The answer is people have season 3 as their favorite.
Really?
Actually, maybe season 4 now? It usually was like the newest season. I think season 3 usually is most people's with, I can't remember her name, but like the teenagers rather than the children that were in the rest.
So like season 1 was the main lady, the main story. And then
I wouldn't even say that. So yeah, season 1 is Tulip.
Yes.
then Lake, then I forget her name, the black girl, and then the
right.
and then the Gasians.
Yep, season 2 is my least favorite.
I think that's fair. I like season 2 a lot because I could just kind of relate to Lake's story a lot, kind of
Right.
not knowing where you like, not feeling like you fit in and having all the expectations of everyone else on you.
Yeah.
Like I just relate to that a lot, but it also is kind of a lot wackier than season 1. So I get kind of why, like in a different kind of way, in like a random kind of way.
It's
So
also just kind of like a weak story compared to, I think.
I mean, it just, again, I think that just depends like how much you really relate to MT's struggle. Because that's the other thing, like, it frames it in a way where you expect the guy to be the main character, but it really is a story about MT. And
Yeah, 100%.
Another one where it's like a thinly veiled trans allegory, ultimately.
Very thinly.
Yeah. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
I like that it does that. I just don't think the writing is as strong. Like, I don't think the character is as good. I like 3 a lot. And I like 4 and where it was going.
And then fucking they never let him have more.
And then the magical season 5 that would have brought it all together for me is never going to exist.
It's so funny, like I like that it gets to be more mature with each season though, for sure.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the like most interesting things is like the first one, while like very deep and I think it did resonate with a lot of people, was like a fun like children's cartoon at the end of the day. And 2's when they started like really starting to get into deep philosophical themes. Philosophical, not philosophical. Philosophical themes. 3 is like there's not even a kid as the main character anymore, which is one of those things are kind of unheard of at the time. Like there was a huge push like, no, children would never watch a show with not child as the main character. I don't know where they've been for all of animation, but you know.
Like, I think 3 in theory is really, really good, but that one also felt a little weak to me, if I remember correctly.
I don't know.
I think where it went was like really, really brave for any show, let alone a cartoon. Because it's just like, yeah, man, I don't know, shit's broken. Anyway, talk to you later.
Well, like, and it wasn't like, oh, here's the part where the guy realizes he was wrong the whole time. It was like, no, some people can't be saved.
Yeah, like some
and like
people,
he fucking dies.
Yeah. Some people just, they fall. Honestly, in my headcanon, it's about QAnon.
It's way too early to be about that, but cults, ultimately.
Yeah. Sticking with QAnon though. When I talk about this show in the future, I'm going to say season 3 is about QAnon.
Oh man, I mean, like season 4 is an interesting one where it, like, went back in time. So like it was the start of like a new arc almost. Well, that's what was planned basically. Is like it was like, okay, we're going forward. Here's all these characters, and it was like we're going back. Here's the conductor beforehand.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. Like it was like, oh shit, that like, how did they get here? And then they were never given, and they wanted to do the movie with the conductor, and they just never got it.
Yep. Yeah. That's disappointing. I think even after season 4 ended, I was like, yeah, like wherever they go from here, like I'm all in.
You literally texted me, wait, that's it? That's season 4?
Yeah. Like wherever they go from here, like I can't wait for the next part because that's really gonna bring it together. And you know, Discovery happened.
It was way before Discovery, because that was canceled like 2019, 2020, whenever season 4 came out. It was actually just they hadn't been renewed even back then.
Yeah, but now they're like trying to be erased from existence.
Yeah, like they're removing all the HBO original stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, that one's obviously because they just see a cartoon and assume no one watches cartoons, but like, that one's insane because Infinity Train constantly was like top rated, top watched, top everything program.
Yeah. It's good. That's why.
Yeah. Like, it's one of those things where sometimes with like shows and stuff, when you talk about it, is like me with games where it's hard to gauge your full opinion on it.
Yeah.
Because like, I get you saying like season 1 was like the best to you, like makes me feel like you thought like it was kind of like a downward trend, whereas more is probably just like it kind of fluctuated just below it.
So like here's the chart, right? You
Yeah.
can see me on camera.
Here, let me
So, like,
pause.
Here is season 1, right? And then season 2, season 3, season 4. Like it almost gets to where 1 got, but season 2 was such a dip in like I don't give a shit about these people that it took a really long time to build back up to almost being season 1 again.
So confirmed, Troy just hates trans stories and media.
That's not even true.
No. It's like, I don't know. It's funny, like, as I get older, realizing all the actual, like, trans stories that I didn't realize were trans stories growing up.
It's a lot.
Even, like, some were unintentional, like, My Life as a Teenage Robot and Danny Phantom, a lot of, like, trans folk are really, vibing. I hate that I say vibing a lot, because, like, it's a much deeper, feeling, but, like, with those, with Danny Phantom, a lot of people being like, this is actually like a really good story about like being a trans man, and Life as a Teenage Robot being a really good story about being a trans woman. I think the Teenage Robot one's a lot stronger than Danny Phantom, but it's really interesting seeing like that. And the Butch Hartman, who makes Danny Phantom, is a super awful devout Christian that has terrible opinions, so I don't give a shit what he thinks. But
Right.
The creator of Teenage Robot actually was like, you know, that's actually really cool that like you guys really associated with these characters in that way. And while I didn't design it in that way, I think that's an extremely valid view to have, which
That's
is cool.
awesome when a creator's like able to come out and be like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like make it to be this way, but I'm glad you guys are able to see that, and if
Yeah.
that's what you see and like you can get that out of that, that's awesome.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite pipelines is the like not yet realize they were trans to accidentally made an extremely trans story to discovering they were trans. That was the Celeste pipeline, which was really funny and like awesome in a lot of ways.
Or
Matrix, right?
Matrix. Yeah, you knew where I was going with that. I know that now the Wachowski siblings are like, it was always about this, but like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't always about this.
I mean, it's the thing of like, even if they didn't intend it to be about it, it still was about it, like subconsciously, I would say.
Sure,
Is a lot of
subconsciously,
that.
probably. But like them being like, we always designed it to be a trans story. You were right. You guys figured us out. Like, no, you didn't. Like, subconsciously, sure. It's probably there. There's no doubt about that. Like, your true self was trying to fight to get out the whole time, and it found ways to do that. Sure. Totally fair. Totally fine. But don't come to me and be like, yeah, no, we wrote this to be this way the whole time, when there was like, no, listen. This is gonna get into like how talented I think they are now. They are not good enough writers to make it even that hidden, you know? Okay, so like, they are the level of writers of the newest Matrix. That's the level of writers that they are. And it's fine that it's that story. Like, I'm not mad about the story at all. It's just like super, super transparent that that's what that is.
I like the hottest take. The Matrix is about trans people, but they didn't realize it until later.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than a lot of internet people where they're like, no, I refuse to believe that. Like I said, the fighting game character, even now, the devs were like, no, yeah, they're trans, And they're like, no, it was a mistranslation that they did in real time. And the craziest, like, shit I see is, like, someone's like, oh, the Westerners got to him. And it's like, I want to put in perspective, Jeriah. The music of this fighting game is heavily inspired by Queen. Because the devs love Queen a lot.
I mean, everybody loves Queen.
Yeah, but like heavily inspired by like Queen music, and they know of Queen, so
yeah.
like
and they're Japanese, so like that's a big deal. Yeah.
So yeah, it's but people are gonna just keep being dicks about it for a while, and then find something else to be dicks about.
Yeah, like, listen, I'm being an asshole here about the Wachowski siblings, but it's not about their sexuality. It's that I don't think they're very talented. It's a whole different thing. I'm insulting
You mean their
them
gender?
on a different level. Huh?
You said their sexuality.
Yeah.
I know what you meant.
Yeah. But like, I'm not attacking them as people. I'm attacking them as talentless people.
Oh my gosh.
They're not good writing.
It's just like my favorite joke I saw online, which was like, stunning. Man doesn't care if trans women participate in sports because he doesn't care about women's sports anyways. Like, it just reminds me of that joke.
That seems pretty accurate.
Man.
But listen, I've seen their other films. The first Matrix was lightning in a bottle. Everything else is just garbage.
Oh yeah. It just like that stuff like annoys me and makes me laugh because even like before this whole thing came out, which the character was released like a month ago, and like in their story, when you beat the arcade mode, they say, they like end it being like, and you know what? I'm a girl, because like their arcade mode is basically about them like questioning their gender ultimately.
Yeah.
And like people are like, no, that's only one ending actually, so it's non-canon. And if you read the Japanese, shit. And then like the devs came out and were like, yeah, Bridget's a girl.
It's just
yeah. But like before that, like in the newest Xenoblade, there's like a non-binary character, and there were people trying to argue with the dev of that game that was not non-binary, and they were like, no, yeah, that was my point. And they were like, oh, you don't know, because, like, that's like a Western thing. And he's like, no, non-binary people exist in Japan.
they exist here, just culture sucks, so
It's just like, that is like the most annoying take, is that Japanese people don't know about LGBT. Like, that's somehow only Western culture. And it's like, okay, go to bed.
That's the same thing of when old people are like, well, when I was younger, there wasn't anybody going around saying that they were a man or they were a woman when they weren't. And it's like, well, like no, people like always have felt like I am a woman that I'm stuck in a man's skin, or I am a man that's stuck in a woman's skin, like vice versa. Like they've always felt that way. It's just society has gotten to a point to where like some people are willing to like accept that like, hey, like you don't feel like you're in the right skin or you're in the right like mentality or anything like that. Like it's the same thing. Like gay people in general have always been around as well, and it's just this older generation just always being like, that was never a thing when I was a kid. Like, no, it was. You just
died. You were killed. You were not given medicine you needed.
Yeah, like it's just you weren't in that circle, so there was no reason for you to like know about this thing that society would shun people away from,
Right.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah. But it's the other thing of like just like infantilizing Japan. And obviously like weebs idolize Japan as this perfect utopia. Really like it's such a coincidence that their perfect utopia doesn't have any LGBT or other races in it. But like they're like, no, there's no politics, quote unquote, and there's no like mention of anything, and like everyone's so great. And like, if you learn anything about Japan, that shatters so quickly.
Right.
Like, genuinely, the best like way to get someone to like stop being a super weeb that wants like idolizes Japan like that, fucking learn about Japan, like, actually.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
Yeah, because like I was like that for a while in high school, and like as I learned about Japan and like I had the luxury of being able to visit Japan, like you just like, this is a place, and also bad things happen here too. Like, it's not like, the issue is like with anime getting so popular is that people think anime's Japan, when it's like, nah, this was just like, oh, this is just like a fun fantasy world. Like imagine if like Japanese people watched Lord of the Rings and were like, yep, that's America. Or I guess Europe.
That would be amazing. Just like a whole Japanese family comes here and they're like, I can't wait to meet the elves. Like,
oh yeah, it's so like, or I guess, or like if they watch Clerks or something and we're like, yep, that's what all America's like. Like, it's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Zafun saying, too many people forcing their opinions/views on other people, thinking they themselves are correct.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I see it a lot where like people are like, just put words in Japanese dev's mouth. And like, it leads to shit like this, where the dev has to be like, yes, in the story where the trans girl says she's a girl, I did in fact mean that.
I wasn't just messing with you.
Yeah, I wasn't like... They even had to come out and be like, also, there's no bad endings in the arcade mode. That's not a thing. Because, like, that was the other argument people kept making, is, like, that there's a good end and a bad end. Which, the good end was, like, flawless arcade mode. Like, you never got hit. And then, it wasn't even, like, they said they were a boy in that end. It just, they didn't explicitly mention being a girl in that ending. It's just dumb.
Wow.
I mean,
King
people
Orc says, Japanese person, where are the dwarves?
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, just, like, insane.
It really is. It genuinely is. I feel like I'm gonna get canceled now, so...
Imagine if everyone thought America was like Gotham City from Batman. Yeah, exactly. Just just a lot. And like, you know, people, I mean, some people got mad when Animal Crossing came out and it doesn't ask you if you're a boy or a girl anymore. It just kind of gives you like a body shape and hairstyles. If you're like, oh, that's awful, and it's like, what? That's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, a bunch of RPGs and like character creators and stuff are doing that now. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's like, why does it like matter to people?
Yeah,
I guess because they don't have to worry. It's the thing where they now have to experience what like other people had experienced for their entire lives, and they don't like it, even though their options are still there. They're just not explicitly said now.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Oh man.
There's on the floor.
Yeah, I hit that last time. I'm not hitting it this time.
Yeah, you did it.
Oh man.
I was about to say we did it. I didn't do anything.
Swirl 2. Man. I was like, I chose the game for this reason in particular. It's really funny, like, having these deep discussions as I just run around and collect coins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. I feel like we need a lighter subject. Have you been watching anything?
Yeah, I just recently watched American History X again. No.
No joke, I actually do want to rewatch that. It's been like, what, like 6, 7 years since I've seen it?
Yeah, I think about 6, yeah. What have I been watching? Liz had been talking about this show called Ghosts.
Yeah, the British one in particular.
Yes, particularly the British one. And I was like, Liz keeps talking about this. Like, I want to check it out. So, like, Liz, like, how is there like an episode amount? Like, I need to get this many into it before it's like good. She's like, I don't know. I just was kind of into it right away. So I gave it a shot, and it's really funny. It's very charming.
I was gonna say that was like the same thing you did for Gravity Falls when I told you to watch that.
Yeah, man. Like, I gotta know. Like, when does this show get good?
I told you, I liked it the whole time. Like, you have this idea that like every single show has like a good point that like people are consciously aware of. When some people do in fact like all of a show.
Yeah, that's true. For me, like, there always is, like, I know this is very strange, but there is always a point when I'm watching a show where, like, all right, now it's good. I'm enjoying this now.
Except Breaking Bad, I think you said you were sold on that one almost immediately, right?
Yeah, that show just has such a strong opening.
It does.
That has such a strong opening, and Scrubs. So, like, for me, the 3 strongest openings in television are probably, for, like, first episodes, probably The Shield, Scrubs, strangely enough, Psych, and Breaking Bad. I think those are like that's 4. That's I think those are like the strongest opening episodes of shows.
I might go with Infinity Train. I think that one like immediately brought you to like this is what you should expect from the show.
Yeah, it does do a good job at that. That show's really fast paced too, though.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a short animated cartoon ultimately.
Honestly, also Over the Garden Wall. Really good. I
can't wait to rewatch that soon. That's spoilers. That will be an episode.
Yes.
That's too good to like keep under wraps. That will be an episode.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. Zafoon asks, question: if you're collecting all the coins, do you see yourself as cleaning up or as a kelto?
He means klepto. Like kleptomaniac.
Oh.
I see myself as a frugal businessman, a startup businessman. You know,
A penny found is better than a penny earned. You know.
Yeah. No, I would definitely call it klepto, because it's like a disorder I have to collect them all, rather than like being a good thing ultimately.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is like video game brain too, because like, this is one of those fun things where like, my wife Liz like didn't play games all her life. She like really didn't play games. I literally
she played
forced her to.
She played Sims and Kingdom Hearts,
and she didn't even play Kingdom Hearts. So I was literally like, "You need to play this game. Like, it's super cool."
You said that?
Yeah, I was like, this relationship super reminds me of like us, and so I just gave her my PS2, and the game was like, when you beat it, let me know.
See, that's funny, because I definitely remember her owning a PS2 every single time I went over there.
After I let her borrow mine, she bought a PS2.
Oh, okay. I thought she literally kept it the whole time that
No.
that I remember visiting.
No, after I let her borrow mine, she was like, this is cool. I like Kingdom Hearts. I want a PS2 now. So she did.
Sorry, you were saying, like, with her getting into games?
Right, at a point. Like, since she didn't play games her whole life, really, like, she doesn't have, like, all these little habits and, like, second nature things of, like, you or I or, like, other people have. So, like, collecting all the things is just not, like, ingrained in her. It's not like, well, there's coins here, so I gotta get them. It's like, why do I need these coins? I don't know. And just, like, passes by.
I think the funniest part is, like, that actually is, like, a big debate nowadays, is, like, what is the point of having coins in games? Like, in college, that was, like, one of the things they talked about is, like, not having pointless things in your game. And, like, they brought up, like, a lot of coins in new games don't matter. Which, like,
really
I
don't.
disagree inherently that there's no point. Like, this game's a good example. The coins kind of lead me into a path. Like,
Yeah.
so, like, it's kind of showing me where to go. I'm dead.
Yep. Super R.
Yeah, but, no, that is fun to, like, think about, like, and you guys get to see it with me a lot if I didn't play 3D games, so I don't have a lot of the built-up memories. Like, notoriously, I don't bother with the camera if it's not, like, hindering me, personally.
Yeah.
So, like, in Last of Us, there wasn't a reason for me to move the camera, in my opinion, so I didn't.
That'll change. Briar, I coming in with some advice that might not be... Well, okay, now on to the advice. Start with the coins on the right first.
So my issue is I feel like if I do that, I'm gonna hit the door.
Jump into the,
yeah. Because the big coin opens the door if you haven't been here the whole stream.
But yeah, other shows I've been watching, besides the 2 cooking shows that are on right now that me and Liz watch.
Is British Book Off on?
No, I think that should be coming out late October here. No, the ones that we watch are MasterChef and Selena Plus Chef, which are very different shows. Selena Plus Chef is like Selena Gomez.
Oh, I was gonna say, they like get the ghost of Selena to like on the show. Like what?
They saw the Tupac hologram and they're like, we got to do this with cooking.
Oh man. There already is like some debate on like the morality of the Tupac hologram. I can't imagine bringing Selena back, who like obviously Tupac's death was like very unfortunate as well, but like especially Selena's death.
Yeah. But yeah, it's Selena Gomez, and then like it started filming during 2020 and pandemic, so it's like over webcams. She's like learning how to cook a meal from a chef who's just like giving her instructions and stuff. It's like 20-minute episodes. It's charming and cute. Like it's just a fun little easygoing show to watch.
So
MasterChef is different.
I only know Selena Gomez from Wizards of Waverly Place and her short-lived... Well, she still does music, I guess, but like her early stuff. Yeah, like her early music. So like, what is the like Selena Gomez thing? Like, what is her? What is she like? Because I assume it's not the character on Wizards of Waverly Place.
She's a super fun-going person who likes to hang out with her friends and family. I imagine she's just a normal 30-year-old girl who
is she 30 already?
She is 30, yeah.
Huh.
Who happens to have a lot of money. She also has a huge show on called "There Are Only Murders in This Building."
It's on what?
She's on Hulu.
Okay.
And it's I've not seen it. Liz has watched it, and I don't know why I haven't watched it yet. 'Cause it's a whodunit, and it's a whodunit about these 3 people who are in this building and a murder happens, and they make a podcast about trying to figure out who has done this murder. I don't know how I haven't watched this. It seems like
that literally sounds like all your alley. Like
yeah,
every single possible alley you could be in is right there.
Yeah, so like Liz has been like super nice, and she like doesn't even like talk about spoilers because I already know that she knows that like I super watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
And like when it's on, she's like, she'll pause and I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, "I'm not gonna tell you." Like, okay, that's fair. It's like yeah, I'll get to that show eventually. It seems great. It seems super funny. There is a show on FX right now that I am really, really digging. Called The Patient.
Uh-huh.
And it has... I can't remember their names, so I'm going to have to open up my Google folder here.
John Delaney.
No, but there is a comedian called John Mulaney, but he's also not in it.
Is there someone with the last name Delaney?
Yeah, probably.
Just in general, you're saying?
Yeah, I bet. No one famous, but yeah, there's probably some guy. The Patient is very clearly like a pandemic filmed show.
Mm-hmm.
It takes place in one room. The first episode has a couple of different rooms, but it's essentially one room. And it is Steve Carell, Domhnall Gleeson, and Laura Naimi?
And John Delaney as the patient.
And John Delaney. No, it is about I'll spoil it here because it's in all the trailers. It is about a serial killer who kidnaps a psychiatrist so he can talk out his problems, so hopefully he doesn't do serial killing anymore.
It does sound very funny.
It's not. It's super, super dark. Like, there's
Oh.
some super, super dark comedy in there that I find funny, but I think I'm fucked up, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's like, I actually caused the Second World War, and Jeriah's like,
Well, I knew it. Fucking this guy. No, it's Steve Carell and Domhnall Gleeson, which the only thing you would know him from, E, is he was the star of About Time. He was the main dude in that.
oh, yeah.
And they both are so far putting in just rockin' performances. And it's just two dudes talking. And it's like super fun. Fun's the wrong word. Entertaining is the right word. Just like watching this serial killer explain his actions and like mentally for these things and like why he does stuff. And it's just, yeah, that's it. It's just a dude talking to a psychiatrist. That's really all. It's really good. I really, really like it. I'm watching, where me and Liz are also hate watching She-Hulk.
Quit hate watching stuff. It just makes them make more.
Neither of us like it.
Quit watching it then!
Like,
you literally said there's a show you want to watch!
I know, right? It's fucked up.
Fucking hell.
It's like we watched that, and she just hates it so much. Like, really genuinely hates it. I think there's some entertaining parts in there, but it's not good. The CGI is downright atrocious.
Damn, it's like Marvel isn't paying their CG people very well.
It's almost like that. Good thing we know that's not true. It's 100% true. But yeah, I'm literally waiting it out because I know of one episode that has that I really want to see this cameo because I'm an idiot.
You're
So
like the biggest Marvel fan who doesn't actually like the things Marvel puts out.
I like a lot of their things. I really liked Captain Marvel.
You really hated almost every
Ms.
show that
Marvel.
came out. Yeah.
Ms. Marvel I like. Loki I do like. And Captain Falcon and Winter Soldier I really like.
Is it
Arrow.
Is it actually Captain Falcon? That's a
Falcon
Nintendo
Winter-
character.
It's called Falcon Winter Soldier. I get that mixed up because he, spoilers, becomes Captain America.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they just like got the rights to Captain Falcon, just made it.
That'd be great.
Gosh.
Man, I'm super disappointed though, because very recently, at like a Marvel thing, it was announced that Daredevil's getting his show again, like they're doing it, but it's gonna be a full reboot. It's not gonna follow the canon of the Netflix shows at all.
Do you think they just didn't want to pay the rights?
They already paid the rights. They bought it.
Don't you have to like pay writers? I thought like that was part of the writer union thing that they did. Is like writers have rights now.
I mean, I doubt that's the issue. I think that there's just a lot of stuff that they don't want to bring over into the MCU that was in the Daredevil show.
It's not family friendly enough.
I mean, it's definitely not that, but there's worse things than Daredevil. Like, they have Punisher season 1 and 2 on Disney Plus now.
Man, they have Punisher season 1 and 2, and they still don't have Dave the Barbarian. That's fucked up.
But, like, it's a dude literally shooting people in the head for revenge. And,
Sure,
like, all the blood is there, all the nudity is there. I don't think it's because it's too grim dark. I think there's literally story elements they don't want to carry forward.
Cowards.
To be fair, a lot of bad stuff was brought along with the Daredevil show. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I bet they just don't want it to be in the same canon because they're doing the Shang-Chi stuff. And Shang-Chi and Iron Fist are like enemies.
Yeah.
And Iron Fist is in the canon of Daredevil from Netflix. So I bet that they wouldn't want to put that. That Iron Fist was bad. He was really bad. Like, bad actor, bad everything about that. Like, it was not good. So I bet that
Marvel's recasted people before.
this would be a huge recasting. To the point to where it would literally not even be the same race. because they used a white guy.
Oh. Well, can't wait
Yeah.
for people to complain about that.
The difference is like because I think like it is a white guy, but I think in the comics he's like in the culture and stuff like that. For this, it's like just a guy who never had any choreography training at all. You missed a coin.
I did. I have to go back.
You go all the way around, huh?
Yep. It probably would have been faster just to die, honestly.
I think so. But like, it was very clear that he had never done any kind of fighting choreography ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it didn't help that the choreographer would like literally give them their instructions the day of. But anyway, that's a whole other thing.
I was just saying I can't wait for people to complain if they recast him as a black actor.
Oh.
Because, internet and nerds.
Yeah, I mean, oh man, that actually reminds me.
What,
Liz
the Little
watched
Mermaid?
the Ariel trailer. Yep, the Little Mermaid trailer, and she's like, people are like freaking out. So I was like, man, is it like? She was like saying like why are people like so angry that she's like black now? Like why are people so upset? Like this is not my Little Mermaid. And she's like, so I watched it, and it's just people that are racist. Because like it's just the Little Mermaid, and it seems like it's pretty, and then like you see her singing at the bottom of the ocean, and then like that's it. And I was like, oh yeah, that just seems like people are being pretty racist then.
I would say it's probably like 70% racist, 30% people are still really tired of these remakes. Not like a reasonable amount is not racism. I'm gonna say I think it's probably mostly racism, but I think there is like a chunk of people who just are tired.
I don't know, man. I wonder how many people actually like. I think it's just nostalgia driven. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think all of this like hate of the remakes is nostalgia driven.
I mean, some people have different issues with where they take certain aspects of the story and like what it is, and like some of it's nostalgia driven, some of it's just dislikes of remakes instead of making new stuff. Because like Disney wasn't making much when they started this remake trend.
No, they were not.
Like I think it's less reasonable now, and like I'm not gonna watch it, but like I'm not gonna say it's the worst thing.
I'm interested in it. When I was a kid, I apparently absolutely loved The Little Mermaid to the point to where if I didn't hear Under the Sea every night, I wouldn't go to bed. So, I mean, apparently that's just inside of me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be fine, just like all the others.
Yeah, probably.
I can't imagine this being actually as affected as some of the other ones. I'll be honest with you.
I don't know. Like, it's such a weird thing, because like, I don't know if it's gonna be as popular. But at the same time, I'm really worried it's going to be not popular because, racism.
Right. But, like, I mean just, like, story-wise and, like, animation-heavy-wise, like... I just think that, like... translating it from CG, or from animation to CG, in this particular instance, is a lot easier than some of the other ones.
Maybe? I'm gonna be annoyed because they are gonna probably just have like photorealistic fish.
Maybe, yeah. That would just be really funny if just a crab just on the screen.
That's what like the Lion King was. Aladdin just had like a monkey-ass monkey. I'm pretty sure.
It did, yeah. The monkey,
yeah.
Which is fine because the monkey in Aladdin was just a monkey anyway.
It was very expressive in Aladdin.
The monkey's pretty expressive in the live action.
I'll have to like. I'm not gonna, because you know me, but like I would have to like really like scene to scene see a lot of that stuff. But at that point, I'm just nitpicking, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah. The biggest thing with the live action Aladdin was obviously Will Smith being the genie.
Yeah, and like that was
Which
fun.
I can see why people would be annoyed by that, because people really like that genie. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you a secret. I hate that genie.
Right,
really
hates
hate
Robin Williams.
I really do not like the pop culture 90s spewing genie. I fucking hate it. I think it sucks. So there, internet.
If you get
Also,
canceled, it's
Sam
probably
said-
actually going to be after because of that,
Yeah,
rather than.
I mean, listen. I guess that's what I'm aiming for this term. What's
Yeah.
the shitty thing I can say that makes the internet hate me today?
Well, no, that's not the point you're supposed to go with. That you're supposed to not be the main character of the internet.
Oh, right. Sam says I love Sebastian the Crab. Yeah, I think I remember that. I had a little toy.
He's fun. The real
Crap.
secret with me is I actually haven't seen a lot of those Disney movies,
Right,
and
you
like
haven't, that's true.
I think I'm at the age where they're not going to do much for me.
Yeah, I think that's true. It's also pretty telling for me that like my favorite Disney movie is Aristocats.
I have met like a notable amount of people who actually have that as their favorite movie.
It's fucking awesome, dude. It's cats. They're like singing.
Yeah.
There's a rat that gets poisoned with a cracker that looks delicious for some reason.
Is it the one that's like dipped in milk or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know why it looks delicious, but I want it every time.
Or it's not even milk. I think it's water.
It's cream.
Oh.
Yeah. It's cream that
Gross.
gets poisoned. Different cream.
Poison? No, I know you mean like coffee cream or whatever, like cat. The cream you give cats. I just think that also sounds gross.
Okay. Oh goodness. Oh my gosh.
What?
Uh,
How long
we've been here for more than 2 hours.
I've been trying to finish like this world. I feel like I'm close. I guess I can literally check. Hang on.
You could literally look.
You
Without
know
a
what?
while.
That's about half. We can end it there. Yeah,
Oh boy.
This is a fun like talking game.
Yeah. I feel like we really caught up.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess just to get it out of the way before we end, my favorite Disney movie is Lilo and Stitch.
Right. That'll be live action.
Related that I'm not gonna watch it.
It's gonna happen.
You can't drag me to that. I don't care if you like buy 5 tickets for me. I'm not
I'll pay
going.
you. I'll pay you.
You have to pay me like $1,000 if you want me to watch
Done.
that with you. No, it's not. I know you're not gonna give me $1,000 to watch that.
But the deal is, whatever we record about it, I have to put it on the internet. You're not allowed to say no.
I feel like you're the one who doesn't want me saying whatever the hell I have to say about that on the internet.
You're right.
Because, like, it will probably just be... The real answer is it'll probably just be, like, my more toned-down version of my dislike of those. Where I'll be like, yeah, I don't know, I prefer the original.
Yeah, I just be like, there's just so much more animated, and
Yeah,
so
basically.
like,
I'll be like, I really didn't like the part where Stitch hit the whip and Nene simultaneously and exploded. I feel like that was unnecessary.
I could totally see that though.
It'll have something. I know, like... Speaking of dumb things people got mad at, I know, like, Pinocchio has a bunch of, like, pop culture references.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Pinocchio
there's, like,
apparently sucks.
People did not like that. I know the main one is, like, people are, like, super fucking pissed that they made a joke that Pinocchio's stage name was gonna be Chris Pine. And
That's funny.
it's just, like, an okay pun.
Yeah,
So I don't know why, like, everyone was so mad about it.
it's pretty good.
The real answer is people didn't realize there were pop culture references in the old Pinocchio. But, like...
Man, I don't think people realize that everything Disney was just pop culture references for like 6 years.
Yeah, there's a surprisingly... I think some did it better, like... biased, because it's my favorite. I feel like Lilo and Stitch actually incorporated it really well into its movie. Like, the Elvis stuff, which... Elvis wasn't even that very relevant at the time, so it kind of is like a funny double thing of, like, Lilo's super obsessed with Elvis.
But like that's also like a big like Hawaiian thing. Like Elvis is like very big in Hawaii, so like that
That's
makes
true.
sense. Like it works into the story of that really well.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what I'm gonna say does it the worst?
Aladdin?
Hercules.
Hercules. Haven't seen it, Elise.
It's should keep that streak up.
All I know about Hercules is Liz had a plastic like Hercules plate that you get from McDonald's for I don't know if she probably doesn't still have it. I imagine it broke. I remember
mother's still.
I remember eating eggs off of that every time I visited.
Nice. Oh yeah, it's still there. Toast will go on that occasionally now.
That seems about appropriate for it.
Yeah.
I think the sorry, one last thing. I think the funniest thing is I think the most fun I had with Hercules is from the Kingdom Hearts games. Like watching someone play that. I think Hercules actually is a fun character in that series.
The problem is like Hercules is super charming, but he's fucking Hercules, you know? Like
hey, good for him. I didn't realize he came out already. That joke doesn't even make sense. No, like I mean, it's like the Superman ultimately, then, is it not?
Yeah, exactly. It's boring, man.
You like some Superman movies, don't you?
I like one Superman movie and only probably half of it.
Okay, I'm gonna as someone who like read some comics and watched some animated series, I think Superman can be very fun.
It's just like
I think a lot of it depends.
So much.
See, like, yeah, but I don't know. It's the thing of like, ultimately, almost certainly every hero story is gonna be like, oh, they won. So like,
yeah,
they're all kind of a farce. So it doesn't bug me that Superman has almost all the powers and very few weakness. It's about like Superman ultimately is a story about the humanity of Superman and like his desire to protect people. I mean, ultimately, Superman's about Clark Kent. Is really what it boils down to.
To be good when you don't need to be. The purest version of good.
Yeah.
Is you could destroy everything with the blink of an eye, but it's the power to not do that which makes you the good guy.
Yeah. Which maybe that's why some of the Superman movies aren't so great, is I feel like they don't get that. Like,
yeah, like Man of
Steel,
breaks all of it, just destroys the entire city.
Anyway, yeah, now we can end. Sorry. We're gonna be next week. We're probably gonna continue talking shit. And talking shit. Actually, Jeriah will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll talk shit about everything. I'm gonna write an essay about the Wachowski siblings.
Please don't. Anyways, if you guys want to get a hold of us, you can do so at our Linktree, linktr.ee/LOIP. Gives you links to our social medias and our listen medias. Twitch streams every Wednesday and Saturday. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard, and Saturdays at roughly 10 p.m. Mountain Standard. We've been going a little early, actually, recently.
We'll probably end up going a little earlier from now on. We'll see. I don't want to make that official yet.
Unofficially.
Unofficially, we try and start as early as
yeah.
But,
So, yeah. Saturdays, Jeriah is playing through Hypnospace. He did not play much last week because of Last of Us, but
yeah.
So look forward to that. I'm having fun watching him play. I think Jeriah finds the game pretty charming.
Ups and downs, hills and valleys.
When he gets the joke, he likes it. When he doesn't get the joke, he hates it.
It's true.
Actually, kind of unironic. And I'll continue playing RITE next week, most likely. Again, I think this was just fun to like. This game almost were a podcast for this episode again.
Pretty much, yeah.
So that that's fun. I'll finish it, and then special surprise after I finish RITE. Ooh, I don't know if Jeriah wants to reveal it or not.
What?
The thing you said you wanted to do with someone.
Yeah. Yes. After E is done playing RITE, it'll be, from looks of it, 1. If it gets really, really hard, 2 more stream.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 1. Like, I'll stick with it.
Yeah. After that, we're jumping into Spookyville. We're going to be playing Visage, and by we, I mean myself, and for you who have listened to the podcast for a very, very long time, since the beginning of it, Rocky will be joining me for that one. For that first week, at the very least, we can be certain E will not be here, right?
Hello. Yeah, they're vetting it while I'm gone.
Yeah. And then
To
if
put
it's
in
fine,
perspective, I got very scared by PS1-esque jump scare. So
yes. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. And then after that we'll bounce into playing that, and then
maybe I'll maybe I'll play Costume Quest for October.
fucking man.
I don't
Yeah,
actually
why
want to.
not? But yeah, that's the plan for after we're done with RITE.
Yeah, so that'll be very fun and interesting. I'm glad I just played 2 random simple games. I feel like we've been heavy on the story on both ends. So just taking a week to relax was fun.
Yeah,
That
I actually
was-
really enjoyed this.
That was supposed to be the purpose of Web, but Web actually was a bit more involved with the story than I expected. Not that it was super in depth, but
It was crazy though.
that game was fun.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But yeah.
so if you want, we did all that stuff. Our podcast comes out tomorrow. It's a good one.
Tomorrow's episode is Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I forgot which one I put for which.
Every.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. It's me, my wife Liz, and E on that one.
Yeah.
None of us had seen it before that point, so very, very fresh takes on that.
Mhm.
It was a really good time. We had fun recording that one. So check that episode out tomorrow wherever you get your podcasts. And I think that's it.
Yeah. So thank you guys if you've been here from the beginning or from the now. I'm doing the remember to wash your bums, wipe your bums. If you go outside, wash your hands after wiping your bums. And
Please do that.
and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Be good to one another. Bye.
Have a good one, everyone. Bye.